Points off the leaders and are perfectly placed to win their first trophy in 6 years when they take on Newcastle at Wembley at the end of the month. But they are without key figures tonight. No Eriksen, no Casemiro, and that's massive for Manchester United. They've had to make 3 changes. David De Gea is their goalkeeper. Diogo Dalot is back at right back. Varane, Martinez and Shaw make up the quartet at the back, with Fred and Marcel Sabitzer starting a game for the first time in 3 months as the two holders in midfield. Fernandes pushing on. Rashford and Garnacho flank Wout Weghorst, who is still looking for his first goal at Old Trafford. Leeds United all in white again tonight, have Ilian Meslier in goal. There are only a couple of changes from Jesse Marsch's last selection. Luke Ayling is the right back. Robin Koch returns from suspension. Max Verber, who was signed at great cost for Jesse Marsch, plays alongside him at the heart of defence. And Pascal Struijk, who's been playing at left back in every Premier League game this season, starts there again. Weston McKennie makes his first start since signing on loan from Juve. He's alongside his USA international colleague Tyler Adams in the heart of midfield. Jack Harrison spent 7 years in Manchester United's youth system, and he plays in the number 10 position behind Sinisterra and Gnonto, who flank Patrick Bamford in attack. Manchester United against Leeds is a rivalry that goes back longer than most. Lancashire's Red Rose against Yorkshire's White. Tonight, the only place in the UK you can access the game is on the world's biggest sports radio station, the home of football. It is Talksport. Over on Talksport 2, we got live commentary of the replay between Sunderland and Fulham in the FA Cup 4th round for the right to play Leeds United in round 5 of that great old competition. But we are concentrating on the Premier League here, with Manchester United in red shirts, white shorts and black socks getting us off and underway and attacking the scoreboard end away to our right hand side, and Leeds United all in white attacking the Stretford end away to our left. Our referee Simon Hooper, and the VAR is John Brooks. The former Manchester United trainee and ex-Leeds United fullback Mickey Gray is with me. How much of a difference will the absence of Jesse Marsch make to this Leeds team?
Evening Sam, evening everybody. I think it's always important to have a coach or a manager in that technical area. We obviously know that Jesse Marsch lost his post as Leeds United manager, and it's how they react. Have the players got themselves together to have that conversation, to sort things out? Well, there's no more difficult places to come than Old Trafford and Manchester United when you're on a run of no wins in 7. But they've got to try and dig deep and find something if they're going to get something from the game this evening. Tyler Adams robs Bruno Fernandes on the midpoint of the United half, and then Gnonto strikes from the edge of the area and scores brilliantly. What a goal that is! The Leeds United fans go mad. It's taken less than a minute for Wilfried Gnonto to open the scoring here at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes dispossessed by Tyler Adams. The ball bounced from the midpoint of the Manchester United half and into the path of the Italian Gnonto, who jinked in on his right foot and lashed the ball down low to David De Gea's right. And it's Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1. Well, I think everybody in this stadium, apart from Leeds United supporters, are absolutely in shock. 44 seconds, I think it was, Sam, for Leeds United to take the lead at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and it's just a scrappy start from the home side, giving the ball away. Started this game in 3rd gear. They needed to start it in 5th gear because that's a brilliant start, and what a finish from Wilfried Gnonto over on this left hand side. Just chops in. He's never really challenged. There's 3 or 4 Man United players around him, but he just gets his shot away low and hard into the bottom corner. What a start for the away side. 4 goals in 7 now for Wilfried Gnonto, who looks a bargain at £4 million. Manchester United have got to come from behind. Garnacho over on that left hand side trying to get into the penalty area, being harassed by Koch, and it's cleared out towards the far side by United as Koch manages to clear upfield. And you can see the assistant coaches and the caretaker managers tonight, Michael Scabula and Paco Gallardo, on the touchline, just trying to steady the energy that's flowing through the Leeds United players. They've made the perfect start to this game, and they have got themselves in front. They lead by a goal to 0.
And Wilfred Gnonto is already on the score sheet. Manchester United have got to react. Bruno Fernandes trying to get through the creaky Leeds defence. Across comes Ayling and shepherds it out towards this near side. It's picked up by Pascal Struijk, who in tandem with Tyler Adams robbed Bruno Fernandes of the ball to turn it over inside United territory for Gnonto to get on the front foot, tuck inside and score brilliantly down to the goalkeeper's left. And Manchester United find themselves behind. And they are on a seamless run. Leeds on a terrible one, but a quick glance back to Saturday shows just how unpredictable the Premier League can be. We were at Goodison Park on Saturday, and a similar reaction from the Everton players to a change in the dugout.
Absolutely, Sam, you're completely right. The way that Leeds United, albeit it's early stages in the game, but they came out of the traps as soon as Man United took and got this game away started. They were on the front foot, they pressed the front four, closed down Man United, they waited for that mistake, it came, and they got their just rewards. I mean, super finish, what a start for Leeds United when you think about the run that they've been on. And run against Manchester United couldn't have gone any better in the first few minutes.
Well, no one gets too excited when Leeds United go ahead. They have dropped 13 points from winning positions so far this season. They've lost 3 of the 8 games in which they have scored first this current campaign. Sabitzer on the ground and wrestled to the floor by Harrison, but nods the ball away. It's picked up by McKennie and sent wide to the far side, and Ayling, who skates down the touchline, plays it infield to Harrison, and Harrison then tries to release McKennie, who touches the ball on, aiming for Patrick Bamford, but it's cut out. Not a particularly good ball. David De Gea bowls it out to the far side. There was an issue off the ball, and there's going to be a issue here. And who's that over on the far side who's gone down? It looks like it might be, is it Tyler Adams who's gone down? No.
McKennie, is it? McKennie looks as if he's on the ground there, Sam, and he was rolling around as if he had a serious problem when he's hanging on to his hamstring at the moment. I hope he's okay, but this could actually be the breather that Manchester United needed at the beginning of this game, because I think it was a shock to everybody.
It's the whole stadium. I think that's Sinistera over on the far side, actually, who's gone down. I think he was chasing back. He's only just come back from injury. It was a foot injury that kept him out for such a long time, and the last thing that he will want is to end up having yet another injury after being out for such a long period. We can go off to half-time in the Conti Cup, because it's the first of a back-to-back series of meetings between Arsenal's women and Manchester City's women. It's semi-final time, and Charlotte Richardson has got the details.
At the break, it's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0. Nothing to separate these two sides, and I might not have any goals to tell you about, but there's been plenty to enjoy watching. In a semi-final, the holders, Manchester City, have edged the visitors' front three, creating the clearer opportunities and have been a little bit wasteful. Arsenal, meanwhile, have struggled for goals of late, and you can see why. They've had to rely on the counter-attack. Laura Vinreuter had their best chance in a 1v1 early on, but was denied. Half-time here, it's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0.
The score is Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1 here on Talksport with Now Sports. And don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream the Premier League in all its glory, live without a contract, $11.99. Search Now Sports 18+, streamed via internet, terms apply. Garnacho went dancing down the left but overran the ball. It goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 7 minutes gone and the game yet to settle, really. Sinistera, well, back on his feet briefly, but only to walk down the touchline on the far side, and it's going to be an early change, and Crescencio Somerville is going to have to come on in place of Sinistera inside the first 10 minutes of this game. It's a early substitution for the makeshift management team of Leeds United, and I do think that is a hamstring problem for Sinistera over on the far side, and Leeds United fans were just getting excited about him coming back into the team after a long absence.
Yeah, shame for Sinistera, Sam, after the way that Leeds have started this game. Somerville now will just shuffle across over to that right-hand side, but they just have to keep continuing the way that they've set themselves up, Leeds United, because, as you mentioned, it's been a really stop-start to the beginning of this football game, and Manchester United are really struggling to get themselves into Leeds United's second half. The final third, they've been really struggling. Just had one opportunity there where Fred played it over the top for Garnacho, had a little bit too much on it, But that's the ball that they've got to try and play. I'm not too sure Rashford over on this right-hand side enjoying himself so far.
Well, we've only played 8 minutes. It is 1-0 to Leeds United. And United stunned by that early Wilfried Gnonto goal. But they have the ball inside their own half, away to our left-hand side. And there are usually goals between these two. Usually from Manchester United, really, who've scored 4 or more in 3 of the last 4 meetings. But maybe it could be a good time for Leeds to cross the Pennines, with Manchester United just stuttering slightly and losing key figures. And with a refreshing in the manager's office, maybe Leeds United feel a little bit liberated. Marcel Sabitzer is bundled to the floor by Adams, and they're off and running again. Somerville's running through the centre. Harrison spotted the run of Bamford, who's brought it down inside the box. He's got Shaw for company. He's trying to steer it back centrally, but Shaw was there to wrestle possession and kick it out towards the far side, where Garnacho plays it against Ayling and wins the throw. But there's rapid speed and pace about Leeds United when they get on the front foot. Gnonto, Somerville now is just as fast as Sinisterra. Harrison's tidy. And they've got Patrick Bamford as a player they can use as a platform to build upon.
Welcome to the Premier League. Marcel Sabitzer, Tyler Adams there, 50-50. Ball was bouncing in between him and the Leeds player just wanted it more, and then they're on the front foot. You can see Man United look vulnerable at the back.
Cool, chilly night in Manchester, and M16, lovely ball by Fernandes out towards the far side, switching the play from right to left, looking for Garnacho, couldn't control it, but they've won it back. Sabitzer snapping into the tackle, it's on towards Weghorst, and then Garnacho tries to dance his way into the box. He runs into Ayling, it's half cleared, then picked up far side, and now it's into Somerville from McKennie, and they're off and running again, and there's space for Harrison to manipulate the ball out to Gnonto, who's isolating Dalot, trying to return it into the centre, and across comes Martinez and manages to shepherd the ball out to this near side. I just wonder whether or not there was a better ball into Bamford. Here's Gnonto down the left, winning it back again. Harrison against the defender Martinez, and it's behind and away and out of play for a corner, and Fernandes then kicks the ball into the first row of the Stretford end in frustration, then apologises because he hit it straight into the body of a fan. And I think Manchester United have started a little bit like that.
What a terrible 10 minutes it's been for Manchester United. They've not got going at all in this game, and that's taken anything away from Leeds, who've been excellent and deservedly be in front.
They lead by 1-0, and they have a corner away to our left, and it's going to be taken by Gnonto. Gnonto places the ball down on the edge of the quadrant, and he's going to swing it into a congested 6-yard box. No, he's not. He's going to tap it to Somerville instead, and then Harrison's going to deliver a ball towards the far post, and there's a header at the far post. It's loose inside the area, and I think it was Pascal Struijk who managed to get a free header in at the back post, and it's a real problem for Manchester United. Eventually they managed to smuggle it away to the far side, and it goes out for a throwing down by the corner flag. But Manchester United are rocked.
What a chance. Pascal Struijk just finds himself free at the back stick. It's a beautiful ball into the area towards the edge of that 6-yard box, and Struijk just tries to direct it down into the Manchester United goal. He does everything right. The only thing that's missing from it is a little bit of pace. It kind of comes off the side of his face as if he's not expecting it. But what a chance.
Manchester United are up the pace at the moment. Here's Fernandes as they look to try and re-establish themselves in this game. Dalot runs into traffic in the centre of his own half. It goes back to David De Gea, and all of a sudden groans and sounds of frustration from the Manchester United supporters are audible once again. 1-0 to Leeds United away from home at Old Trafford. They haven't won here since 1981. And it'll be fascinating to see how Manchester United cope without their two key players in Casemiro and Eriksen. I mean, Leeds are well aware of how daunting it is coming to this place at the moment. Manchester United haven't been beaten since Real Sociedad overcome them in September in the Europa League group stage match. But they haven't settled in this game just yet. Shaw turning the ball over on halfway. He moves up over the halfway line and into the left wing position looking for Garnacho. Can't control the ball. And then Ayling takes it out towards the far touchline, plays it against the young Argentine, and it flicks out the way for a throw in deep inside Leeds territory in the right full-back position. 13 gone, Talksport. And Manchester United are behind here, and Leeds are crowing about it as well. Their fans away to our right-hand side, certainly making their presence felt.
Well, Alejandro Garnacho over on that left-hand side, Sam, I think he's given the ball away on 4 occasions now, and it frustrates me every time I see him, because he's always got the ability in a 1v1 situation to take defenders on. He doesn't even have to do a trick, he just uses his pace, but something has to come to the end of it. I just wonder whether it would be better for him to be over on this right-hand side alongside Erik ten Hag, so he can kind of coach him through the first half, and put Marcus Rashford over on the left where he feels a little bit more comfortable, where he's been getting most of his goals.
Sunderland 0, Fulham 1 over on Talksport 2. Harry Wilson with the goal in the FA Cup replay. That's over on Talksport 2 right now. If you want to download our app, you can flick between the two stations. Shaw into the box. It travels a very long way. Varane towards the far post looking for Weghorst. It comes out towards Sabitzer. And from the penalty spot, he just couldn't get over the top of it. It was coming down, but wouldn't come down quick enough. And as a result of that, he had to hit it at a higher point than he would have liked. And he volleyed it over the top of the crossbar as a result.
A shame for Marcel Sabitzer. Got himself into a good position. You're right, the ball just wouldn't come down quick enough for him. I actually thought that Weghorst was in an offside position when Rafael Varane put the ball back into the area. Linesman on our side didn't put his flag up, so United had to continue. Mr. Gordon is Manchester United's best opportunity so far in the game.
Well, they've only played 14 minutes. United in front early against Palace on Saturday, totally in control until Anthony's rainbow flick and Casemiro's sending off. And then they were holding on a bit, but they got through it, which showed character, and they've got to come from behind here and display character. Rashford out wide to Dalot on the overlap, pulls it back through the area. It's left by Fernandes. It comes through to Shaw. Shaw delivers it back into the box. It comes back out to Sabitzer. Forward to the left, and now Fred right on the angle of the penalty area. Tries to churn it back towards Shaw. Shaw slips it down the left side for Garnacho. Chased by Ayling. He has to turn and come back into Bruno Fernandes, and Manchester United patiently wait before releasing the ball. Shaw takes 2 steps forward, runs to the edge of the box, tries to draw some sort of challenge, goes back to Fernandes, and then they'll go all the way back to Martinez and then into Sabitzer and patiently switch to play to this near side. 15 gone, 1-0 to Leeds. Out to the right, and Marcus Rashford, who's been so potent from the left-hand side. It's a shift for him today to come out towards the right and Garnacho to take his place, but it's because of the injuries that they've got to Anthony, the lack of fitness for Jadon Sancho, and the unavailability, which seemingly is always the case, of Anthony Martial. Here is Varane down the right, clipping it towards Dalot. It's a difficult ball for him to deal with. He plays it against strike and it goes out for a throw-in halfway inside Leeds United territory.
When Man United are building up, Sam, and they get themselves into good positions, they're leaving either Fred or Sabitzer in that midfield area in the centre circle all on his own, and Leeds United are just waiting for that one poor pass, which is when they break on them. I think that's where they've been more dominant in this game so far, Leeds United. When they pick that ball up from the back, they're playing through the lines better than what Manchester United are. They're getting themselves on a half turn, and look, they should be 2 up. It was a brilliant opportunity, that second chance from Struijk.
But it's only 1-0 to Leeds United on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. And here is Luke Shaw. Out wide it goes into Marcel Sabitzer, who has been beaten to the ball again, this time by Somerville, but it has ricocheted in Manchester United's favour, and they have it now. Sabitzer's got it back left centre of the Leeds United half, out wide to Fred, and then back into Varane, and then he's dispossessed, and now Bamford is away, and Nonto's to his left-hand side. He slips in Nonto, and then goes for the return, and Nonto tries to thread it through to him. Didn't get there first time, but second time found Somerville. Back towards Tyler Adams. Adams skips away from Fernandes, brings Struijk into play. Leeds United, as they often do, can pump the ball around, especially against the better teams. They seem to thrive. They've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten Liverpool already this season. They haven't won too many games, but it's usually against the bigger sides that they tend to perform against. Recently ground out a 0-0 draw with Newcastle United. Away by Dalot though, and now the turnover is on, and Fernandes is trying to slip it through, and Garnacho's in space inside the area, and he sent it wide, brought it down, slashed it goalwards, went to the near post, and it's a yard wide of the right hand upright, and it remains 1-0 to Leeds.
Well, that's how good Manchester United can be when they go through the gears, but it's taken them so long to get going in this football match. They find themselves a goal behind. When it falls to Bruno Fernandes, a beautiful first touch to get the ball out of his feet. When it falls to Garnacho there, just a little bit behind him, but I still think he has to do better. His first touch is very good, swings that right foot at it, and as you saw with Gnonto, just found that inside of the near post, and I think Garnacho has got to do exactly the same thing. What a chance.
Manchester United will get more chances in the game, they've just got to take them. 18 gone, you're listening to Talk Sport. Here's Fred up towards the edge of the area, onto Sabitzer, who strikes one low and hard, and again it's only narrowly wide of the right hand upright. Well, I always worried a little bit about how Leeds would approach the game, because they like to be all over you, but no team scores more goals in transition than Manchester United. They've scored 6 goals in the Premier League from fast breaks, and that effort from Garnacho is an example of that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's when they look at their best. It's a counter-attacking team with the pace that they've got in those forward positions, but the quality has to be there from the 2 wide players. Rashford's not really got into the game as of yet, Sam. Got to be completely honest with you, and I think if you're going to beat Leeds United, albeit they're low in confidence, you have to match them for effort and work ethic. And at the minute, Leeds United are running all over them in certain positions.
Fernandes onto Rashford right side. He's got Dalot in front of him and Garnacho far post. He's blasted the ball goalwards and he's taken out Pascal's strike. He's smacked the ball straight into his face. It's gone out on this near side. The game has been stopped as a result of that, and Strout has been basically not cleaned out. There was a thunderbolt from Rashford. Straight in his chops. Not nice at the best of times, not on a stinging night like this. Manchester United up on their feet and trying to encourage their team to go forward. This is an historic rivalry. This is a grudge match between 2 teams that are not particularly close friends, and it's imperative for Manchester United, if they want to continue their charge, to try and win this game. I was speaking to Roy Keane last night, and he just said to me, just keep an eye on Manchester United, keep an eye on them, because with Arsenal and Manchester City at the form they're in, you never know, they might just emerge through the slipstream and start to put pressure on the top 2. He might be a little bit ambitious about that, but the way the league's going, you never know.
Well, you can never write them off. I think that's one thing that you can say. I do look at Manchester United, and I think as the season progresses, albeit their home form is absolutely fantastic right now, you just tend to think that certain weeks that are coming up, Sam, they might just fall short, because they have got it in them still. And when you're missing important players, as you touched on before, of Christian Eriksen and Casemiro, I think we're seeing that right in front of our eyes right now in this game against Leeds United. I think that's where they might just come unstuck a little bit, but there's no doubt about it. They can go on a momentous run. We know they've got the quality in those final third positions, and they can threaten Manchester City and Arsenal, who've got to play them twice, I think, over the next coming weeks. So that's going to make it really interesting, which also makes this game tonight so important.
Now, they did come back from behind to beat Everton live on Talksport on October the 9th. They also came back in the Manchester derby recently in a game that was live on this station. And when they succumbed to Jack Grealish's opener, only to go up the other end and score 2 goals in a second half blur and take all 3 points against Pep Guardiola's team. Manchester City are in action tonight. Their women's team taking on Arsenal in the Conti Cup. What's the latest, Charlotte Richardson?
Still Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0. After a cagey opening 45 minutes, Arsenal have come out of the break with far more intensity and purpose to their possessional play and have had the best of the opening period of the second half so far. Still, it's Arsenal 0, Man City 0.
And it's still Sunderland 0, Fulham 1. The latest scoreline from the FA Cup. That game is live over on Talksport 2 tonight. And there's so much going on this evening up and down the country to keep your eyes across. There is a Scottish Cup semi-final as well tonight. Dundee are 2-0 up against Wraith. They've only played 35 minutes in that particular encounter. Here it's 1-0 to Leeds United. Leeds has certainly settled the best. And by the way, if you're wondering why we are zipping around the grounds and updating you elsewhere, it's because Pascal Struijk has only just got to his feet, and after making an early substitution involving Sinistero, who's got a hamstring injury, and having to bring on Somerville, they are now going to have to change their left back, Mickey Gray.
Oh, I mean, this is a nightmare start, isn't it, for Leeds United when you think about personnel?
Who makes the decisions here? Because you've got 3 coaches now in committee inside the technical area having a discussion about what to do.
Well, Michael Skubala's obviously got to come out with a final decision, hasn't he? He was the one who was put in front of the cameras. I think he's going to be making the calls tonight. He would have picked the starting 11. He's had to change that very early, and with Struijk going off the field now, it just upset that back line, who've been pretty organised, albeit the last few minutes Manchester United have started to grow into the game, but another change that they did not want to make.
Junior Firpo comes off. I wonder if that goes down as a concussion substitute. I think it probably will. We'll check that out with our colleagues down pitch side. That should go down as a concussion substitute in my view. And as a result of that, that will only mean that it's just the one substitute so far in the game. Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1. 23 minutes gone. You're listening to Talksport. That has indeed gone down in that category. And for the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes, where you can get right now Manchester United to come back and win at 6-4, Leeds to win at 17-10. The draw is 9-4. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. How much are they missing Casemiro tonight, Manchester United?
Hugely. And you can see it, there's that huge gap as you're looking in front of us right now, Sam. It's Sabitzer who finds himself in the centre circle on his own. Fred is drifting around over on the left and the right hand side. I don't know why he's trying to pick the ball up from his back line. You can see over the right hand side Bruno Fernandes is trying to play as close as he possibly can to Wout Weghorst. But Leeds United have stayed organised. They're very hard to break down. You can see that midfield area, they're all working for each other. And Man United are going to have to come up with the answers because of that terrible start that they made.
24 gone, and the ball is with Lisandro Martinez out towards the far side. He finds Garnacho into Sabitzer, but again Tyler Adams is quicker to it. The ball's won back though by Manchester United, and then down the left side, a couple of yards in from the touchline inside Leeds territory. Shaw takes it on, pokes it through the centre, looking for Fred, away by Koch. Picked up by Bamford. They hold on to it, Leeds, and bring it out towards the far side. Bamford tries to help it on. He crashes into Martinez. The ball spills into the left full-back position as United look at it. Manchester United come forward in those red shirts. Sabitzer runs into the centre circle, plays it square to Varane. Varane over the halfway line. Now on to Diego Dalot. Dalot skips away from Nonto and then travels infield. He sends it into Fred. There's a good run from Fernandes that he's trying to spot. It's just over his head. Couldn't react. He was shut down by Koch and Ayling, and it drifts behind and goes out for a goal kick. I'm just looking at Tyler Adams, who's just adjusting his footwear in the middle of the park. And Leeds United can't have another injury. Surely they've made 2 substitutions already, despite taking the lead inside 45 seconds. Wan-Bissaka not available tonight because of illness. Sancho not fit to start for Manchester United, who are also without Christian Eriksen. Casemiro, Anthony Martial and Scott McTominay too. Somerville giving a real spot of bother to Shaw and almost got the better of him as the long ball was kicked upfield by Meslier. Away by Fred, but cut out by Ayling. Garnacho is having a bit of a tough time over on that left-hand side, and when he isn't in control of the ball, he's running around a little bit like a headless chicken, not really affecting the play, and when he has got it, he's trying to do a little bit too much, I think. Yeah,
you're completely right, Sam, and I think there's a lack of creativity in that midfield area for Manchester United. What that means is your forward players have got to be on song. Whenever the ball goes up to them, they've got to make something happen themselves. Garnacho's really struggled over on that left-hand side, and I've seen it too many times now. Yes, he's still a young man, so you have to give him the benefit of a doubt, but the quality's got to be better. We know he's got it in abundance with the pace and the trickery that he's got.
Here comes Garnacho down the left side. He goes past the goalkeeper who came flying out. Then there's a defender on the floor. He shoots towards goal. It's cleared off the line by the retreating Verba. Comes back out to Fernandes. Then it takes a deflection on the way through and goes out for a corner in front of the scoreboard end. Well, Garnacho found himself one-on-one there. Took on the goalkeeper, beat him. Then left the defender on the floor. Shot towards goal. And it was cleared off the line by Verba. Corner's been quickly taken. Poorly by Fernandes. And it's cleared away by Leeds United out towards the far side. Fred keeps it alive. Rashford touches it infield. There's a foul on Garnacho that goes unpunished. United win it back. Shaw out to the far side. Shaw's fouled now. That's going to be a free kick. And I think maybe Weston McKennie's just going to have a little word from Simon Hooper about the robustness of that challenge.
Well, 2 massive chances have fallen to a young man in front of the Leeds United goal, where he should have actually put the ball in the back of the net on both occasions in my eyes. But this second chance, when he's played through and he gets past Meslier, does brilliantly when he chops it back onto his right foot, but he has to score. And this is what we're talking about, having that quality in the final third, set pieces, crosses into the box and being a finisher. Well, will they rue those 2 misses from Garnacho in his first half, Manchester United?
It's a set piece for Manchester United, wide on the left with Shaw and Fernandes standing over it. Weghorst is in the area, so is Rafael Varane trying to bend his run. It's played down the left looking for Rashford. They tried to do a very tricky one. It didn't come off. Fernandes has robbed it back left edge of the area, got away from Nonto down to the byline. It was touched by Nonto, behind and away for another corner to Manchester United, who trail here by 1-0. 28 minutes gone. An absolutely intoxicating game which has been all action from the moment we press play.
Yeah, without a doubt. Great start from the away side. Manchester United now starting to grow into this game, but they've got to get themselves back on level terms.
Fastest goal scored at Old Trafford since Edin Dzeko scored here after 43 seconds in 2014 for Manchester City. Ball, again, not delivered well into the box from the corner. It's back in by Shaw with a header. McKennie away. Sabitzer helps it on. Varane finds himself inside the area, tries a volley. Wöber manages to block that, sends it into the air. It's still with Varane, who manages to flick it over his head and towards the goal away to our right. Meslier was backpedaling but did enough to jettison his arms up into the air and grab it before it dropped in the net.
It's half a chance for Varane. Couldn't really get enough power on the header just to loop it over the top of the Meslier to find the back of the net there, but just so many mistakes I can see from Manchester United giving the ball away, which has got to improve. You can hear the Manchester United supporters, set pieces. I've never seen them try so many things that haven't came off.
This game is absolutely crackers. It cannot continue at this pace. Sabitzer sends it out towards the far side. I thought Jesse Marsch had gone and taken his chaos with him. Here is Garnacho speeding away from two players. Gnonto brings him down by the corner flag, pushed him to the floor, and that's going to be a free kick down by the corner flag. Gnonto is appealing to the referee, but the fans behind the goal are trying to certainly get on his case, and Garnacho's gone in front of them and danced and tried to cheerlead a little bit, trying to turn the volume up on Leeds' goal away to our right-hand side. The pressure has been ramping up from Manchester United in the last 10 minutes or so, Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the pace of Garnacho. This is what you want to see. I talked about how quick he is. Nobody can live with him in a 1v1 situation.
What did Gnonto do there that resulted in that free kick?
Well, look, I mean, he's not really tried to foul him. It's Garnacho more than Gnonto.
It's a dive, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just tried to make contact with his ankle. I don't know why, because he's already got the chance to cross the ball in with his left foot. But he just waits for that little bit of contact. I don't actually think there was a foul.
Here is the free kick to be taken by Shaw, left side. It's a bender out towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's not a very good one. It comes back towards this near touchline, and then Fred will recycle it midway inside opposition territory. Headed away by Wöber, picked up by Harrison, and now the counter-attack threat is there for Leeds again. Bamford steaming through the middle, not precise enough with the pass. Somerville was the ball, they didn't find him. It remains 1-0 to Leeds, half an hour gone. Dear, oh dear. Missed by Firpo, who's come on as a substitute, one of two substitute in the first half. On to Rashford, down by the byline, produces a cross into the far post, taken down by Garnacho inside the area, tries to get it onto his right foot, comes back to the edge of the area. Sabitzer urged to shoot, which he does, and it's a brilliant save up towards his right with his left hand by Ilian Meslier to stop Manchester United's new signing from getting his first goal and from United from getting an equaliser.
Well, he's had some good opportunities, Sabitzer, so far in the game. This ball finds its way out to the edge of the 18-yard area with his weaker left foot. Just curls it towards that top corner. Super save.
Corner deep towards Rafael Varane again, headed away by Firpo, in by Sabitzer, picked up inside the box by Martinez, who dollars it up for Rashford, who tries to control it down by the byline, produces a cross into the box. Reflection takes it over, but the assistant on this near side has already decided that the ball went out of play, and it's out for a goal kick away to our right. Can we just take a moment? Is that okay?
It's got the feel, Sam, at the moment, hasn't it?
Everybody just take a breath.
Yeah, it's got that feel of, you can see that Man United are obviously now in the ascendancy. They've got themselves on the front foot and they're creating chances. It could be one of those nights where it's frustrating and they can't find the back of the net. I'm sure they're not thinking that right now, because it's chance after chance.
Mickey, Manchester United always score.
Yeah, they did.
They have done in their last 21 games. Surely, against one of the leakiest sides in the league, they couldn't draw a blank tonight, could they?
Well, a lot of changes. Think about the two midfield players. Diego Dalot coming back into the starting 11. Oh, Weghorst, I don't think he's hardly touched the ball. I don't think we've talked about him at all in the game so far.
Ayling gets away from Garnacho. The ball flicks out of his ankles and into a loose area in midfield, which Weston McKennie tidies up, gets it back to Wöber at the heart of the Leeds defence. He chips it high into the air. It's away by Rafa Varane, who's deep inside his own territory, for Fernandes to clip that over the top. Now, the referee didn't spot that, but there was a foul by Ayling on Garnacho, although you never can tell with him. And the play is allowed to continue. Varane gets it back towards the edge of the area. It's now with David De Gea cleared out towards the left where Lisandro Martinez takes it. And very slowly but surely Manchester United look to try and build. On the back of the interview with the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak last week, don't miss Piers Morgan, uncensored on Talk TV and Talk Radio tomorrow night from 8 o'clock. Sasha Walpole tells her truth in a global TV exclusive. And if you want to catch up on some of the big interviews on that show, such as Kanye West, who's now got a different name, another different name, Tommy Fury and Cristiano Ronaldo, then check out Piers Morgan Uncensored on the YouTube channel. That's Talk TV tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. It's Piers Morgan Uncensored. Apparently it's yay. But that's not me saying it's a good thing to watch. I'm saying that's Kanye West's new name. Yay.
Yay.
Didn't he call himself something else at some stage? I don't know. I thought he was running for president the last I heard. 34 minutes gone. It's Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1. You're listening to Talksport. Ball flicked in by Bamford, looking to try and chase after it is Crysencio Somerville. He scurries out towards the far touchline. He's midway inside United's half, and it goes out of play and away from Manchester United throw. It is the 8th home game of 2023. So far, Manchester United have won them all.
I think there's no doubting Leeds United's reaction from the sacking of the manager as well, Sam, I have to say. Talk about galvanising yourself. Obviously got off to the perfect start in this game against Manchester United, albeit the last 5 minutes they looked very vulnerable and looks like Man United are going to get that equalising goal. But I have to say the work ethic of the players, the organisation, full credit to the coaching staff who've taken over and got themselves ready for this game against United. Look, a long way to go, we know that, and I think there will be a lot more goals in the game, but so far so good.
Michael Scubala, Paco Gallardo and Chris Armas taking charge tonight and trying to navigate their way through this Manchester United daunting home record. They made a good start, and the harassment of Leeds when United are dawdling on the edge of their own penalty areas continued. He's smuggled behind and away, eventually for a goal kick, but Fernandes is not happy about the pressure that was being applied to him by Wilfried Gnonto.
I just think Man United look really scrappy at times, giving the ball away in silly areas when there's no pressure on any player at the time. Bruno Fernandes has been caught 3 or 4 times. I think that was actually where the goal came from. Garnacho, as you mentioned as well, who's given the ball away. They've just got to compose themselves a little bit. Yes, there's been a lot of changes, but as we talked in the build-up to this game, if you're on a run of 13 wins at home, you want to be a part of Manchester United. You want to be in that starting 11. But I'm just not seeing the flow of them right now.
Well, a lot of people who watch Leeds on a regular basis will tell you they play well enough but don't get wins. I think that's true, and they concede too many goals, which has been their problem, because their expected points total is 28. They've got just 18, and that probably backs up what I'm saying. They need a killer instinct when they get in front in games, or when they're in a good position in games, to go and finish it off. They're in a cracking position here. What they can't do is allow Manchester United back in this game. They've given the ball away cheaply. Verba into Varane, and then it's given away by Koch, and Fernandes has got it. He's given it away, and Koch's got it back again. Then there's a foul on Bamford on the edge of the centre circle. A free kick has gone the way of Leeds. Bamford absolutely furious. He's gone round to Verba and said, "What on earth are you doing? You've just driven that ball 30 yards from the heart of our own defence straight to a Manchester United player." He isn't shy in coming forward, Patrick Bamford. He usually does it very politely, though. That was a little bit more aggressive.
Have you noticed the difference, Sam, from Leeds United? I know we talked about them being very narrow.
Well, you and I talked about that in the build-up to the game, didn't we? We were sitting outside and we were saying how they congest that central area and find it very difficult to pick their way through. But if you look at Gnonto and look at Somerville tonight, they're very wide, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Just nearly had a half a chance there themselves, so I kept quiet for a little bit. But yeah, they obviously had to make that change. And Somerville's working over on that right-hand side, but Luke Shaw's finding it difficult to get over the halfway line. Really spoke about him too much. Testament to the job that Somerville's done for him. But Gnonto over on this left-hand side is causing Dalot all kinds of problems.
Ball cleared out towards the near touchline. Well, Dalot has hardly played, hasn't he, because of the hamstring injury that he picked up at the World Cup, and then he had to come off early in the game against Charlton when they restarted him. And it's going to take him a bit of time to settle. But he has spotted the movement of Garnacho far side, who was unmarked. He's taken it out of the sky, Garnacho, held it onto it, and then given it away cheaply, and then bundled into the back of Luke Ayling and given away a free kick. Ayling, who has scored here before in a topsy-turvy game. And Marcelo Bielsa was the manager Started now 6 Premier League games in a row after a long period out with injury.
I'm a huge fan of Garnacho, Sam, over on the left-hand side for Manchester United, but he doesn't half frustrate you when you watch him play.
Is that because he is still 18 years of age?
Well, do we give him the benefit of the doubt? Because I think he's played enough games now, which is why he's been given the opportunity at the start of this game against Leeds United. But a wide player has to do better. Your brain's got to be better. When you can see Luke Shaw's making an overlap and run around you, you've got acres of space, and you're running into Leeds United's right back, Luke Ayling. I just think that's completely wrong from a wide player. You've got to find your fullback when he's got so much space and time. He gives the ball away for me on numerous occasions when he doesn't need to.
Fred has gone down after contact from Weston McKennie, or the USA international. Is on loan with an obligation or option to buy at the end of the season for £33 million. Is now being beckoned over to Simon Hooper, and the referee calling him over is now just trying to explain the kind of conduct that he expects from the Leeds midfielder. The 3 coaches are in constant communication down in front of us. Skubala and Armas now having a chat down in front of us on the touchline and discussing what they want from their team. Chris Arness only brought in recently to help out Jesse Marsch, who's now disappeared. And Manchester United certainly will want to try and find a way back into this game at double quick speed. Ball is on the right side with Ayling. In towards the centre circle. Harrison's picked it up. Bamford's made a run but now got to get back on side. Somerville peels away to the right. He's in United territory over on the right hand side, a couple of yards in from the touchline. It goes back to Ayling, into Harrison. Harrison trying to turn, plays it square. Tyler Adams gets away from his marker. Now it's on to Nonto, who's on the left edge of the area, attacking the goal away to our left. Leeds on the front foot again. Nonto's gone wide. He's running at Dallow. He's bamboozling Dallow. He gets around the outside of him and Dallow sticks out a foot and it goes behind and away for a corner kick, but he's a handful.
Oh, absolutely. I think everything just seems to be a final last-ditch challenge from Manchester United. Whenever Leeds get anywhere around their 18-yard box, it looks like they have to go to the ground. They're sliding to win the ball, to clear their lines. There's no composure in the back line or the midfield area for Manchester United at all. And Leeds have capitalised on that. When they broke quickly, they look a real threat. They look as if they can actually go and get more goals.
That's a terrific start to the game. 41 minutes gone. Nonto with the ball in towards the near post. He scored the opener after 55 seconds. And it's still 1-0 to Leeds United as a result of that. Garnacho's had a couple of really good chances. Sabitz has had one saved by the goalkeeper Meslier. And Leeds have had another chance to double their lead. And they might get one now with Bamford inside the area to Nonto, who tries to strike it. Thought he was caught by Martinez. Goes down inside the area and it's cleared away. Nonto's gone down. Remember, they've had 2 players go off injured already in the game. The referee is stopping the play to check on the progress of Wilfred Nonto. The physio's eager to come on and attend to him. He's holding his right shin and he wants the VAR, John Brooks, to have a look at a challenge by Martinez upon him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physical challenge, isn't it, from Martinez?
He gets the ball there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets the ball. I mean, they're never nice though, Sam, because you're obviously putting everything into it, as Gnonto does there, but Martinez wins the ball first. He's got to throw his body on the line, which I've just been talking about yet again. But there's nothing wrong with that challenge. Of course it's hurt Gnonto. That's why he stayed down on the ground, but it's no penalty for me.
Tomorrow morning, I'm sure Alan Brazil, used to play at Manchester United, will have something to say about this game. Rangers legend Ali McCoist, who had a day off yesterday. No, it's today. It was today he had a day off, wasn't it? Yeah, he told me about having a day off yesterday when we were at Sheffield United Wrexham together. He's back on the show tomorrow at 6 o'clock with Gabby Agbonlahor, who's on this morning. It was a bit of a hoot this morning with Laura and Ray Parler, and the former Charlton and Birmingham City manager Lee Bowyer will join them on the show. And if you fancy something different, if you want a bit of music to wake up to, a bit of chat as well, Chris Evans is on the Virgin Radio breakfast show from 6:30 a.m. You can listen to that on DAB digital radio or download the Virgin Radio app. This is Talksport and we are live at Old Trafford tonight, where Manchester United are behind to Leeds United by 1-0, and I imagine there'll be quite a bit of added time at the end of this first 45. Nonto is going off away to our left hand side. They're not going to have to make a third substitution, are they?
Well, it was a hefty challenge, Sam, wasn't it? And he doesn't look as if he's walking the best. Nonto, yeah,
gingerly off the field in front of the Stretford end. And it does very much look as if they are going to have to make a change. He's just sort of tried to break into a trot. He may well attempt to run it off before half-time, but they're down to 10 men at the moment as Manchester United restart the play and come forward away to our right-hand side. Leeds, who so far have applied themselves manfully. Down the left is Garnacho, Ayling with another good tackle. He seems to have the measure of Garnacho in this first half. Nonto wants to go back on, and Leeds will be hoping that he survives. He still doesn't look great. He scored the opening goal. Skubala trying to get them up the pitch. Leeds, they're dropping a little bit deeper here. And the ball has been picked up by Varane on the edge of the centre circle. It's out wide towards Rashford on the right-hand side. It's played infield to Dalot. Dalot now across to Varane. And then Varane plays it to Dalot once more. This is Talksport. 90 seconds before the end of the first half. And Leeds United are in front thanks to Nonto's goal. He's helped the ball onto halfway. Varane's interceded, but it's been picked up by Summerville. It wasn't a brilliant clearance from Varane. It's a challenge by Fred and Shaw, sandwiching Jack Harrison. They want to take the free kick quickly, Leeds United, but now Shaw's down to add to the stop-start nature of what has been a chaotic first 45 minutes. Frenetic. It's been absolutely non-stop. And when it has stopped, it's stopped for large portions, maybe because people want to catch their breath.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think this might be one of the reasons, Sam, why I don't think Manchester United can go all the way and win this Premier League title this season, because I think when fringe players come into the starting 11, I think that's where they look a little bit vulnerable. They're not as good as the players, we know that, who start for them every single week. And when they make umpteen changes, as they have done tonight with Dalot, Garnacho coming in, Weghorst, who's only been here for a couple of games as well, I think they just fall short of what we see from from Arsenal and Manchester City every single week, or pretty much every single week.
Well, Erik ten Hag will tell you he's still at a very early stage of his development with this Manchester United team, but they are losing by a goal to nil here tonight. Dundee are 2-0 up against Wraith in the Challenge Cup semi-finals. Sunderland 1-0 down to Fulham in the FA Cup replay over on Talksport 2, and it's Arsenal women 0, Manchester City women 0 in the Women's League Cup semi-finals. Ball is on the left-hand side in the first of 8 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45. Garnacho is chasing it. He's beaten to it by Meslier, who clears to the halfway mark, and it's picked up by Martinez, and then there's a poor challenge by Martinez and Bamford, both going for the same ball. It was a 50-50, but it didn't look tidy, and Bamford has gone down. The ball picked up by Dalot right side, and then Rashford picks it up. 8 minutes of added time have been allotted. We might have more if they stop it again here. The referee's allowing play on at the moment. Fernandez continues. They're down to 10 men because Bamford is down inside the other half of the field. He's going to get to his feet, and that's not going to encourage the referee to call a stop to things. The ball picked up by Martinez. Bamford gets back involved again. Manchester United come forward with Shaw over on the far side, the left. Garnacho into Sabitzer, onto Garnacho, who takes one touch, goes round one defender, then plays it into Fred. It was short. That was a late challenge by Fred. Free kick 5 yards outside the Leeds box, dead centre.
Well, I bet Erik ten Hag can't wait to get down that tunnel at half-time, just to give his players a bit of a shake. I mean, there's had some challenges come in the last couple of minutes, both from Martinez. This one on the left-hand side against Patrick Bamford. He did win the ball, but his momentum took him through, and there was a follow-through on Patrick Bamford's ankle. It looked like he was in big trouble for a minute. And then when he seen that Man United weren't going to kick the ball out, he was quickly back to his feet, and he was fine. Nothing in it whatsoever. But he's lost the ball. Patrick Bamford's gone down looking for a foul. You're just not going to get that.
Well, the referee did well, actually, didn't he? It was just a collision between two players. Martinez bounced back up, and Bamford stayed down, because I think he thought the longer he stayed down, the more he would disrupt Manchester United's attack. It didn't work out that way on that particular occasion. Talksport, 2 minutes into added time at the end of the first half. Sam Matterface and Mickey Gray at Old Trafford on a chilly night in Manchester, M16. And Manchester United, who are so prolific here, on a run of 13 straight home victories, are behind.
Sam, I really expected Bruno Fernandes to take the reins tonight in this game and be the experienced man, the captain, the leader. But I think playing in that midfield with Sabitzer, you can't be too critical of him, because he's been asked to do a job tonight. But himself and Fred it just hasn't worked for the other two midfielders in that position, and I think that's the downfall of Manchester United, because they've just not got no flow at all in this first 45 minutes.
Would you be tempted to switch the wingers at half-time?
100%.
We'll talk about that in just a second, because Shaw's got it on the far side with Fernandez moving up towards the edge of the area. Savitzer takes over now, produces a cross into the box looking for Weghorst, comes towards Rashford, he didn't get himself stopped. Dalot did, takes a deflection, goes behind and away for a corner.
It's good strike from Diego Dalot. Better play from Man United down the left-hand side, but again they're waiting for scraps. Ball falls to the edge of the 18-yard area. We know he's got a very good strike on him. Dalot does everything right, keeps it low, gets a lot of pace on it. But again, Leeds United throwing bodies on the line, trying to hang on to this 1-goal deficit.
Here's the corner, Shaw to take it in towards that near post, away by Bamford. It comes to Fred, who falls over as he attempts to strike the ball from just inside the area, and it goes over the top of the crossbar. What a chance that was. Just needed a little bit more composure. Manchester United 0, Leeds 1, and we played 49 minutes now of the first half. And actually, I mean, that was a better set piece, but set piece has been a bit poor as well from Manchester United in this first 45 minutes.
They've just tried too many things, Sam. They're trying to complicate things instead of just putting the ball into the area. They've not just done it from corners, they've done it from wide free kicks also, and they're not working. Yeah, try something a little bit different, but when you're on top in the game, when you're feeling the confidence flowing through the veins, but it's not happening for them, albeit they've still had some very good chances in the first half. But this is not the Man United I've been coming to watch over the last 2.5 months.
Well, the Leeds fans are the ones that you can hear at the moment inside this stadium. Leeds, who have had to endure quite a tough period. The Leeds crowd have been restless for months, and they wanted to see the back of Jesse Marsch before even others who have been observing them were ready to admit that it wasn't a project that was working. Eventually, Andrea Razzani has decided to pull the trigger, and Leeds United seem to have bounced back as a result of that, especially in this first 45 minutes, although there's still a long way to go, and they're not the best at keeping hold of Leeds. Manchester United aren't the best at keeping hold of the football tonight. They keep giving it away sloppily. They may have had 67% possession, Mickey, but on too many occasions they've just been careless in possession, not released it quick enough, and when trying to get the ball up the field have taken the more difficult route when a simple option, simple pass would do.
It's got that feel that they've seen that Leeds United have lost their coach, their manager, and they've just turned up tonight expecting to just walk all over Leeds United. And they've had the biggest shock that they've ever had this season. Well, I think you probably go back to the game against Brighton.
Mistake by Manchester United, giving the ball to Somerville, edge of the area, ball down by Martinez. Referee says nothing, allows it to go. It looked very much like a foul from Martinez. The referee's allowed play on. I wonder whether or not VAR will get involved in that, Mickey. Could that have been a penalty?
If he's made no contact with this ball, Sam, it's a penalty. It has to come back.
Here's Sabitzer in the area at the other end, headed away by Verba. It goes out of play, we'll find out now. The referee is being told to hold it, and he is being told to wait for instruction from John Brooks. The Leeds United players are convinced that there was contact. It was a poor pass back across his own goal by Dalot. Somerville went in towards the area. I think the contact, if there was any, would have been outside the box, and therefore as a result of that, whether there was or wasn't, there will be no decision from the VAR.
Well, Sam, in or outside of the 18-yard box, I've talked about this all through the first half. How many last-ditch challenges are Manchester United players having to make?
But there was no contact there. That was a dive.
No, it was a dive, you're right, but again it's Martinez, a bad pass from one of his teammates, having to stretch to try and win the ball back. Well,
it was outside the area. The referee's not going to go back and decide to change that anyway. The ball breaks into the area, goes back to the goalkeeper Meslier, and it's cleared away. Well, we had Garnacho over on the far side, who's been frustrating. Rashford's hardly been involved on this near side. I asked you earlier on, did you think that they would change the wingers at half-time? Maybe introduce Sancho and put Rashford back on the left?
Yeah, they've got to do it. Marcus's body language, he just doesn't like playing over on the right hand side. He's not involved in the game, and when you think he's probably one of the hottest properties around Europe right now, and he's hardly seen the football.
Well, imagine what he would have done if he had had all those opportunities that had come to Garnacho.
Absolutely, the two opportunities for Garnacho, maybe one or two more, a 1v1 situation with Luke Ayling over on that left hand side. He's the biggest threat around Europe right now, playing in that position. I don't understand why he's changed that, Ten Hag.
But why on earth aren't Manchester United's trying to get him in and down the right-hand side.
I look at Marcus now. Does he look? He doesn't look interested. I'm not criticising him because I think he's frustrated that he wants.
Shouldn't he?
Yeah, without a doubt, and he should be playing on the left-hand side. And you're right. Does Sancho come on at half-time because it's not worked for Garnacho?
Well, it hasn't worked for Manchester United in that first half. It is the first of back-to-back clashes with Leeds for Manchester United, and so far it's the Yorkshire Whites that are coming up smelling of roses. They've got rid of Jesse Marsch, and at the moment they are leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Wilfred Gnonto's strike after 55 seconds. At times that was a chaotic 45 minutes. It was definitely frenetic. It was fast, it was furious, and it was cracking fun for the neutral. Manchester United 0, Leeds 1.
Really, really good first half, live and exclusive on Talksport. Really interestingly as well, David De Gea is the closest Manchester United player to the tunnel, Mickey Gray. And Man United were on the attack when the half-time whistle went. Marcus Rashford started a sprint towards the tunnel from the other end of the pitch. It went slowed into a quick jog, and he beat David De Gea to the tunnel. So why is he so keen to get down there? Is he frustrated with his first half? Does he want to remonstrate with his manager? Does he want to slam a few boots on the ground or whatever and have a go because he's so frustrated, Marcus Rashford?
Well, I hope he does, because that wasn't the Marcus Rashford we've seen come back from the World Cup and at the World Cup, Adrian. It wasn't a performance that I was expecting tonight from him. I talked about him being one of the hottest properties around Europe right now, and he is that. But he does not want to play on the right-hand side. He wants to be on the left. And I said about Garnacho being a young man. Well, look, if you're playing alongside your manager, why not play him down the right-hand side? Just switch it for a couple of minutes to have a little word in his ear to say, look, sharpen up your first touch, take on your full-back in a 1v1 situation and make something. Give us an end product, a shot or a cross. But when he's been in those positions on the left-hand side, it's not happened for him, albeit he's had two brilliant chances in the game. I'd be really surprised if Marcus is not playing left-hand side in the second half, because that was a shocking performance from Man United. Look, we build them up, Adrian, because they've been so good for the last 13 games at home. But you can't put in a performance like that. It was so below par, that 45 minutes.
They got players missing, that's no excuse. They've been terrible, Manchester United. But for Leeds, another board meeting from the three who are in charge, caretaker charge of Leeds United. The under-21 head coach, Marco Scubala, formerly manager of England's futsal team. Paco Gallardo, the development coach, formerly a coach at Sevilla when both Unai Emery and Julien Lopetegui were in charge there. Chris Armas is from the Bronx. Worked here at Man United under Ralph Rangnick last season, brought in on the Leeds staff only last month by his pal Jesse Marsch. He stayed, Marsch is gone. Those three, another board meeting as they walk towards the tunnel at half-time. But that's the perfect away performance from Leeds United in that first half.
They came out the traps, they had intent, as if they wanted to prove a point, not just for themselves, but to the manager that's gone, and obviously the supporters that have came to Old Trafford tonight. And they got that perfect start, Adrian, after 55 minutes from Gnonto over on this left-hand side. Seconds. And it's Man United from the off, giving the ball away. Chopped it in on his right foot. He had three players around him. We're going to see it in front of us now. No challenge whatsoever. And he gets his shot away like that. It's not Man United like, but full credit to Leeds. They came here. They wanted to get off to a perfect start. They've done that. They've given themselves something to hang on to, and boy, they were hanging on at times in that first half. But what a chance they've got to go and pick up 3 points tonight. If they could do that, it's a massive win for them.
Well, I did say that Leeds United had no chance. That was what a prediction that was. Let's see in the second half. At half-time, live and exclusive on Talksport, Leeds United leads at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Hello, my friend. Life comes at you fast, so make time for you time with Just Eat. For early times, lunch times, late times, strange times. The perfect times for the McDonald's Sausage and Egg McMuffin, Five Guys Cheeseburger and Strawberry Shake, Domino's Pepperoni Passion, plus more from Costa Coffee, Creams Cafe and Pizza Express. So order now, later, in a bit, whenever. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Product subject to availability in restaurant and serving times. Participating stores only. See justeat.co.uk for details.
For all the top Premier League analysis, listen to The Game, the Premier Football podcast from The Times. Every Monday and Thursday, join Hugh Woosencroft and a host of big-name guests for in-depth reaction and opinion on the latest action and the biggest issues in the world of football.
It's a massive goal!
Hear previews of all the upcoming matches and provocative and compelling opinions from some of the finest football writers from The Times and The Sunday Times.
Lovely bit of football!
Listen to The Game on the free Times Radio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
And he's barrelled it straight through the midfield into the Village Hotel Pub and Grill fan zone, the home of big screen live football. A long volley over the stadium seats by the giant screens into the left-hand corner of the bar, past a winning lineup of ice-cold beers and a magnificent menu of mouth-watering footy food. Result! Enjoy the perfect big match experience with food, drink and live football at a Village Hotel Pub and Grill fan zone at 33 UK locations. Find your nearest venue and win monthly prizes, including match tickets at villagehotels.com/fanzone. Get in! Conditions apply. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals and a wide range of trade quality building products. In February, we've got 2.4 metre lengths of 75 by 50mm CLS studding for only £2.98 ex VAT. Now that's a real deal. Find even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse and online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
That charged at 20%.
What does Asahi Super Dry taste like? Crisp, refreshing and always super dry. A taste as unexpected and surprising as modern Japan. That's right, Japan's #1 beer. Asahi Super Dry, beyond the expected. Go to asahisuperdry.com to verify. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk to find out more.
This football season, get a hand from Betfair's popular bet builder and easily add our fan favourite football selections to your bet slip in just one tap. And you can get a £5 free bet when you place a £5 bet builder on Man United versus Leeds. How handy is that? Betfair.
Opt-in required. Max £5 free bet builder valid 72 hours. Minimum combined odds. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Game day exclusive on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. We search a panel of lenders to find you the best deal. Search Car Finance 24/7 today.
On the app, on DAB, on 1089 and 1053 medium wave, and on your smart speaker.
Football February.
Talksport.
Half-time here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Leeds 1. Live on Talksport 2 right now. They're into the second half. It's Sunderland 0, Fulham 1 in the FA Cup fourth round replay. To get Talksport 2, just download the Talksport app for free. Swipe between the two stations. Scottish Challenge Cup into the second half. Dundee 2, Red Rovers 0 in that semi-final. Winner will face Hamilton. Dundee in control in that one right now, and we'll keep you in touch with the Conti Cup as well tonight. That's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0, approaching the 90 in that one. And a result from the FA Women's Championship: Bristol City 3, London City Lionesses, the leaders, 1. Marcus Rashford, playing on the right in that first half, has been awful, unable to get in the game, not even look like continuing his stunning scoring record he's scored in each of his last 5 Premier League home games. And courtesy of the team at Talksport Edge, I can tell you Wayne Rooney was the last Man United player to score in 6 consecutive games at Old Trafford back in April 2012. Talksport Edge is your essential match day companion. For team news, goal updates and much more, download the Edge app for free today. It really is brilliant on a match day. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
So with a score at Man United 0, Leeds 1, United are now 19-10 to win. Leeds are 31-20. The draw's 15-8. Rashford to score the next goal has been boosted to 18-5. Nonto to score a brace, 10-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Are you in? Let's go. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Trocek tries to header across to Bowen, who scores for West Ham United.
We've had a couple of really good results, so we want to build on it. We want to get that momentum.
If you didn't know the run of play today and looked at a 0-0, you'd have said Chelsea probably missed a lot of chances. They didn't really.
Chelsea 0, Fulham 0.
We know that we're at the start of a project, if you like, especially when you see the January window.
Shrewsbury Hall charge forward. What a finish that was!
You know, you constantly have to work in the Premier League to get the results, and showing that bit of quality in the right moment.
Kane! And Harry Kane has done it! His record book now needs another chapter.
Plenty of years left to hopefully keep improving and keep getting better.
Game day, it's what Saturday is made for.
Yeah, game day is back. 11 a.m. Saturday morning. Reshmin Chowdhury, the best build-up, some brilliant features and interviews in that period between 11 and 12:30 on Talksport. And then at 12:30 it's the game. West Ham against Chelsea in the Premier League live. Exclusive commentary with Sam Matchface and Dean Ashton on duty for that one. I'll be bringing you the goals as they go in around the grounds. I'll be at Arsenal-Brentford on Saturday afternoon. Leicester take on Tottenham. That's live on Talksport 2 from 3. Also, Southampton Wolves is a big one down at the bottom as well. The best and only full and comprehensive classified results service just after 5 o'clock with results from Premier League, National League, North and South, and through Scotland, Wales and Ireland as well. You get all the classified results on Talksport after 5 o'clock. Right, let's check in at that Conti Cup semi-final. It is very tight. In fact, I don't think there's been a breakthrough yet. Charlotte Richardson.
Well, we're into the final 7 minutes of additional play, and it is Arsenal 0, City 0. It's been a cup contest full of commitment, character and chances, just no clinical edge. Arsenal substitutes Lena, Hurtig and Stina Blackstenius had golden opportunities for the host, while City's front three... I was just looking there as Blackstenius almost bundled the ball over for Arsenal. Late drama here. It's been a fantastic contest, even though there hasn't been any goals of yet. It looks like we're hurtling towards extra time. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0.
Charlotte, thanks very much. Almost, but not quite. And Jonas Eidevall, the Arsenal coach, was asked in the press conference after the 0-0 draw with West Ham at the weekend if they've got a problem scoring goals. He said, no, there's no problem at all. Here they are, they can't score goals, Arsenal. So there is a problem. Talksport Breakfast with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist tomorrow morning. Gabby Agbonlahor will join in from 8. Brazil and McCoist from 6 a.m. Mickey Gray's on the show. Lee Bowyer is on the show as well, ex-Leeds, another ex-Leeds player and ex-Man United player, Lee Sharp on the show, and one of Talksport's NFL team, Will Gavin, live from Arizona ahead of the Super Bowl, will be live on Breakfast as well tomorrow. As we await the teams coming out for this second half, I can tell you that live on Talksport 2, Fulham have doubled their lead at Sunderland. Andreas Pereira just before the hour mark. Sunderland 0, Fulham 2 in that FA Cup 4th round replay. Winner meets Leeds in the FA Cup 5th round. Somebody check on Mickey Gray. That's live on Talksport 2. If you want to listen to that, just download the Talksport app for free. Swipe between the two stations or tell your smart speaker to play Talksport 2. And just to tell you some of the other live commentaries we've got coming up. On Friday night, Birmingham West Brom in the Championship. It's a derby, and Carlos Corberán is still the West Brom manager. In fact, he signed a new contract last night. And I've got to say, the West Brom social media team did a great job with that one. Brilliant. Birmingham against West Brom, live on Talksport 2 on Friday evening. Then, of course, game day on Saturday. Sunday, we've got WSL Spurs against Manchester United at midday on Talksport 2. And then on Monday, we are all off to Merseyside for the derby. Liverpool taking on Everton. Everton in a little bit of form under Sean Dyche. Liverpool in no form whatsoever. We'll be at Anfield for that one on Monday night on Talksport. 6 p.m. we get underway. Drive becoming game night. And it'll be me, Sam Matchface, Danny Murphy and Kevin Campbell. So Liverpool represented by Danny Murphy on our commentary team. Everton represented by Kevin Campbell. Of course, next week we are into the Champions League. Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday it's Barcelona, Manchester United in the Europa League at 5:45 live on Talksport. Straight after that on Talksport is England's women against South Korea in the Arnold Clark Cup. Hugh Wozencroft will be your host. 7:45 kickoff for that one. Leeds on their way out. Mickey Gray. I think one of the difference tactically with Leeds United, they're playing with width, which the fans have been crying out for. Jesse Marsh just didn't seem to want to do it. They've got some width. It's how they got the goal.
And they look a real threat when they get it into those wide areas, Adrian. Certainly on this left-hand side with Ganonso, the man who got the goal after 55 seconds. Well, it's that midfield area for me as well. They just dominated Manchester United in that first 45 minutes. They looked as if they had more legs and energy in there. And when they do get themselves on the front foot, Leeds United, they actually look a real threat. And they're causing the backline of Manchester United all kinds of problems. Teams are just coming out in front of us. It doesn't actually look like Man United have made a change, which really, really surprises me.
Well, Garnacho is back out there. You can tell by the floppy fringe, the 18-year-olds. But it looks like they may have swapped wings, Rashford and Garnacho. Let's see what happens in the second half. Leeds lead by a 1-0, live and exclusive on Talksport. It's not even on your telly. Second half commentary from Mickey Gray and Sam Matterface.
Well, Manchester United hardly ever lose to Leeds anymore. Leeds haven't picked up a win here in the league. We all remember the cup tie, yes, and Beckford, etc., etc. But they haven't picked up a league win here since February 1981. Manchester United hit the woodwork twice, dominated the game. Leeds smashed and grabbed with a Brian Flynn winner in the 85th minute. And arguably they smashed and grabbed early on here. They got in front, they've held on to that lead. Manchester United have had a couple of chances, but Leeds still very much in the game as well. It was a brilliant first half to watch. Nonto has come forward in the early part of the second half down that left hand side, trying to cause problems for Dalot. No changes for either team to those 11s that finished the first half. We'll go through them in just a second as Harrison plays the ball into the box to try and cause more problems for Manchester United, and Sabitzer has to concede an early corner. In fact, it was Fred, I think, who eventually put it behind. But that was another dangerous moment where Jack Harrison just seemed to wander into a left flank position under no pressure.
Little back heel, Jack Harrison unmarked in the 18-yard box. He's got time to get his head up. There's no balance for Manchester United. Leeds United are trying to capitalise on it and get themselves a second goal.
Here is the corner over on the far side. It's taken short to Somerville from Nonto. Goes back in by Harrison towards Adams, who launches the ball from a quarterback position into the box to the right side of it as Ayling looks at it. Tries to head it on. It comes back out to halfway. And Adams is chased down by Weghorst. Away by Fernandez, although Nonto got the final touch on that. It's helped up into the air. Collected up by Somerville, who jumps in towards the edge of the penalty area. It's poked through towards Harrison and cleared away by Sabitzer. Extra time in the Conti Cup is just about to start, full time there. Here is Nonto coming forward, leading by a 0-0 lead. Onto Somerville. His shot takes a deflection. It's out for another corner to Leeds United, and Manchester United have made a slow start to this second period.
Well, no changes was a big surprise. Yes, a change in personnel with Rashford coming over to the left-hand side, but it's not changed anything or the way that Manchester United have been playing. Leeds back on the front foot. They've had a couple of half chances themselves. Pull back from Harrison, this time a shot from the edge of the 18-yard box. Again, another last-ditch challenge from Manchester United players.
Here is the corner into the near post. Flat tap comes towards Ayling, stopped by Fred. And David De Gea didn't deal with that at all well, and now Manchester United look to go on the counter-attack, as you mentioned, with Rashford now on the left-hand side. Was there a handball there? The referee said no, they continue, and Wilfred Nonto is now on the left-hand side playing in Somerville, and it goes across the face of goal, hits De Gea and goes in. It's a second goal for Leeds United. Somerville down the left-hand side, conspiring once again with Nonto. He centred the ball, he took a deflection and went in, snuck in front of the scoreboard end. Jesse's been jilted, Leeds have been liberated. It's Manchester United 0, Leeds United 2.
Well, I'm looking at Erik ten Hag. He's just walked into his technical area and he's waving his arms around. I think he's having a word with the referee because he thinks there's a handball in the build-up to the goal.
It wasn't the immediate action before the goal was scored.
But the big problem is, whether it's a handball or whether there isn't a handball, Sam, is his side have not turned up tonight. They have been awful. And it's hard to say when you think about how they've been performing in front of the home fans at Old Trafford and the record that they have. But giving the ball away, not doing your jobs, the basic jobs of staying with runners, taking a chance of getting to the byline. And it's a slight deflection. I think it's Varane at the near post. It just comes off his right foot into the back of the net. But it's all Leeds deserve. They've come here with intent, got that early lead, and they've just doubled it early in the second half. It is a mountain to climb now for Man United.
Yeah, Somerville down that left-hand side, tickled the ball through the centre of the area. It took a flick off Varane, went behind De Gea and snuck into the net. It's an own goal. And Manchester United are 2-0 down. And Leeds United are celebrating. And what could end up being a significant victory for them as they try to pull away from the bottom three. They'll put a 3-point cushion between them and the relegation zone should they win here tonight. And the way things are going right now, Mickey Gray, it very much looks like they're going to.
Well, we thought the goals were going to be here tonight, but we thought they were going to come from red shirts. Complete opposite. Talk about a side fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, managerless. They've come here and they actually look like they're a side who are fighting somebody in the top half of the table because they're giving absolutely everything and they're getting just rewards. Listen to their supporters. They've silenced Old Trafford.
Well, the Premier League strikes again. Manchester United, 13 games in a row. They've won here at Old Trafford. But they are 2-0 down to Leeds United, one of their closest rivals geographically. The ball has been played forward by Gnonto after a slip by Dalot into the feet of Harrison, switched back out towards Gnonto. And the £4 million signing from Zurich in the summer has seen that squirt out and away for a throw-in after he miscontrolled it. But what an impact he's had on this game. He's had 4 goals in his last 7 games, and he's come up with the assist for the second goal here.
Yeah, been really lively in those wide areas, but it's just intent. I'm seeing a performance in front of me, Sam, that I saw before Erik ten Hag walked through the door at Manchester United, i.e. under Ralph Rangnick. They just look disjointed. There's no organisation. I don't know where the leadership is when you think Varane, Bruno Fernandes, 2 really experienced guys, Martinez alongside Varane now. They're at 6s and 7s, and Leeds have pounced on every opportunity. Manchester United just keep giving the ball away.
Manchester United just haven't come out in this second half. De Gea is their goalkeeper, Dalot, Varane, Martinez and Shaw the back 4. Sabitzer holding with Fred and Fernandes pushing on. And it's Rashford and Garnacho flanking the centre forward Weghorst. Claims of handball as the ball went up towards the edge of the area. The referee said nothing about it. Erik ten Hag is still screaming at the 4th official. And the ball is out on this left-hand side with Leeds United, who have Meslier in goal, Ayling, Koch, Berber and Firpo as the back 4. Firpo a first-half substitute for a concussion-stricken Struijk. And then it's Weston McKennie and Adams with Harrison just behind the front man Bamford. Sinisterra was taken off early. He's been replaced by Somerville, and Gnonto is the left winger. Offside flag is up against about Weghorst, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds United in front of their own penalty area. Talk to me about Koch. Did he handball it?
I don't think so, Sam. I think you were right when you initially called it at the beginning of the move. That's not a handball for me, got to be honest with you. I mean, they're appealing for everything at the moment, Manchester United, but nothing seems to be going their way. And I don't think it was a handball. I really don't.
Either way, the law was changed a little while ago. It has to be the next action before a goal is scored. So I don't think that was something that was ever going to be blown up by the referee or looked at by the VAR as a result of that. Fred's just kicked the ball at Weston McKennie. McKennie's pushed Luke Shaw in the chest. Remember, we haven't had a yellow card in this game up until now, but we are about to have our first one. It goes to Weston McKennie. And we've been waiting for our first goal in the Continental Cup match down at Boreham Wood. Arsenal against Manchester City, and we've got one, Charlotte Richardson.
It's Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. Super sub Stina Blackstenius coming off of the bench 2 minutes into extra time. She nudges the hosts ahead. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0.
Swedish international Blackstenius with the goal that's put Arsenal in front. Those two, Arsenal and Manchester City, play each other once again at the weekend. You're listening to Manchester United 0, Leeds 2 on Talksport with Now Sports, and don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream this Premier League live with an out of contract. Search Now Sports. Here is Bamford down the left, another turnover by Leeds, and quickly they go on the counter-attack. Nonto's got it back again. Harrison into the area, a low ball which is blocked by Martinez. It goes out to the far side, and then it's helped forward by Dalot, and across Manchester United come. They need to do some serious surgery to try and turn this round now. They're 2-0 down, looking to try and overcome Leeds United. They need a goal and they need it quick. Rashford now on the left, takes it on, cuts in field, shoots right-footed. He never looks set. It goes behind and away for a goal kick.
Frustrating from Marcus Rashford over on the left-hand side. Then, of course, does ever so well. He gets himself turned and he plays the ball over to this left-hand side in a 1v1 situation. I think you'd always back Marcus. He does actually chop inside Luke Ayling. As you said, Sam, he's not really got himself set when you think, as a man in form at the moment, the goals that he's getting every single week. I think it's 5-5 in his last home games for Manchester United. Again, Adrian touched on it just before half-time. He sprinted down that tunnel as if he was frustrated to maybe have a word with the manager just to say, look, it's not working for me on the right-hand side. You need to get me over to that left-hand side. But again, he has got to grow into the game.
They've come back from deficits before. Manchester United, they come back when they were 3-0 down at Chelsea a few years ago. They came back from 2-0 down at home here to Burnley to draw 2-2. I think that was in 2019. They were 2-0 down at Everton in 2006-07 and came back to win 4-2. But have they got those powers of recovery? Yellow card for Tyler Adams for a foul just shy of the halfway line over on the right-hand side. Just a little bit late on Fred, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. Just a couple of steps to the centre circle on the right-hand side, inside Leeds United territory. It's been picked up by Varane as Fulham lead by 2-1 away in the FA Cup replay up at Sunderland, which is live over on Talksport 2. Jack Clark with the goal with 13 minutes remaining. We're in the 56th minute here, and it's 2-0 to Leeds United. Garnacho going down the right is fouled by Wilfried Gnonto. Going to be a free kick, and it looks like Erik ten Hag is about to make a change. Who's he calling for? Not Jadon Sancho. It is Jadon Sancho, but it's also Anthony Elanga. He wants Pellistri as well. He wants 3.
Sooner rather than later, he had to make those changes. Sam, what you do is you give the players who were poor in the first half the opportunity to come on in the second half and maybe prove themselves, but they're not being able to do it, which is why they find themselves 2 goals behind now. But the lack of creativity is a big concern for me, and we're talking about Casemiro and Eriksen missing.
Fernandes into the box, a flick by Somerville, takes it through the area and out the other side. Ayling will get there, it's blocked by Rashford, it goes out of play and away for a throw-in down in front of the corner flag. And Rashford's doing all the right things, going to get the ball when it goes out of play and all that, but he hasn't really got involved in the game, even though he's switched to his favoured side.
No, he hasn't. He's not growing into the game at all. Marcus looks really frustrated. He's obviously feeling a little bit more comfortable now on that left-hand side, but he still needs to get involved in the game a lot more. And I say, the lack of creativity in midfield, it's hard to get the ball out to him on the left-hand side.
You do just wonder whether or not maybe he's picked up an illness or something like Wan-Bissaka, because he has been so consistent recently. Here is Garnacho, showed far too much of it to Junior Firpo, tried to go down the touchline, didn't work out, was stabbed away, and it's out for a throw-in on this far side. Manchester United have it again, trailing by 2-0 to Leeds United, live on Talksport tonight. It's picked up by Varane and sent wide towards the right-hand side, and a chance to cross for Sabitzer. He does that, and then Rashford just wafts his right foot at the ball on the volley, and it goes right over the top of the crossbar by about 25 yards. I mean, that's a chance. That's a chance for him.
It does. It sums up the night. And a confident Marcus Rashford, which he is, should be taking a first touch, bringing that ball down, and then getting his strike away. But you look at the strengths of Manchester United tonight, which they've had over the last 2 or 3 weeks, without Weghorst, who's just actually leaving the field now. But how many aerial battles has he had in the 18-yard box? I would probably say 0. If you've got a guy who's in there 6'4", 6'5", You've got to get the ball into those wide areas. You've got to give him the service. Well, he's not had any tonight whatsoever. They're making the changes now, so it's going to be a different way or a different style that Manchester United are going to play. Pellistri working over to the right-hand side, who's a little live wire. But the young man who's just gone off, Alejandro Garnacho, he's got a lot to learn, Sam. I love him. I think he's got real talent. I do. But he's so naive at times, and you don't get too many chances in a Manchester United shirt if you keep putting in performances like that.
Yeah, he's only 18. He's got a lot of future ahead of him. He's a wispy, wiry winger in the great traditions of this club, but that was a performance which left something to be desired, and he knows that. Rashford's gone down the middle. Manchester United have sent Pellistri out to the right-hand side and Sancho out to the left. Fred has just made a mistake and swept the ball behind Pellistri, and that's allowed Leeds to get back behind the ball. It's now with Martinez just left of the centre circle. He plays it square to Varane. Varane goes out on the far side. It's picked up by Dalot. Into the box it goes, headed away by Koch, and then Bamford tries to hold it up and Harrison brings it down. He clips it forward, looking for Nonto. I just wonder whether or not Leeds United themselves are starting to tire. We've played 60 minutes. We're hitting the hour mark. Leeds have got a 2-0 advantage. Manchester United looking to try and get themselves back into this game. They need to do it quickly. Here is Varane running through the middle of the park, slipping it forward to Rashford. Rashford tucking it wide towards the left. Sancho runs down the touchline, helps it on to Fred. Fred with a low ball through the 6-yard box, steered away by Verba. And it comes out for a throw on this near side. Verba's defended well.
Yes, they've been excellent. He was the centre-half who cleared from the line in the first half when Garnacho got his strike away, when he chopped inside, again in the right place at the right time.
Ball out to the wide right position. Dalot trying to get beyond Nonto, produces a cross, takes a deflection into the air, headed away by Weston McKennie. Sabitzer, who's been all action, won the ball back again. It's gone down the right. Chasing it is Dalot. Can he keep it in? Just about. Helps it back into the penalty area. Koch takes charge. And it goes back out to the far side, and still the red onslaught continues. But they haven't scored yet. They've scored in each of their last 21 matches, remember. Here is Sabitzer. Oh, he's played it behind Pellistri. He went a little bit too early. Not quite on the same wavelength, and it's out and away for a throw-in over on the far side. Sunderland 1, Fulham 3. Marvin Kurtzeva with the third goal for Fulham. With 8 minutes to go, should have put them into the next round for the team to be the ones that face Leeds United in the next round of the FA Cup, round 5. Here it's Manchester United 0, Leeds 2 on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Lots to talk about with the Breakfast Show boys. Tomorrow morning, Gabriel Bonlahor joins Ali McCoist and Alan Brazil from 6 o'clock. If music's your thing and a bit of chat too, Chris Evans is on Virgin Radio at the same time. You can get that on DAB Digital Radio or by downloading the app. Here we're concentrating on Manchester United. Can they get on the comeback trail? Fred into Sabitzer, under pressure from Bamford, turns away from Harrison, then floats the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Pellistri gets it round Firpo and is in the box on the right side. Cross comes in towards Rashford with a header. Brilliant! What a leap! High into the air, lancing the ball into the far corner. Manchester United are on the scoreboard. They're always on the scoreboard, and so is Marcus Rashford. Game on. It's 2-1 to Leeds.
Well, Manchester United make a couple of changes and the game completely turns on its head. They get it into better areas in the wider positions. They don't think twice about putting the ball into the area when they've got half a yard. Pellistri does brilliant. Use a little bit of pace, a little knock-off, that's it. Don't even think about it. Put it in the area. And that service that Weghorst was probably hoping for when he was on the field. Well, the man who's scoring the goals at the moment, Rashford, gets away from his marker, leaps higher than everybody else. And it's a fantastic header, I have to say. And it's game on.
Bamford is off and Jorginho Rutter is on. Aronson coming on for Jack Harrison. And I just wondered, looking at the body language of those two players, if they think, we got ourselves into a brilliant position and now we know what's coming. Manchester United trying to fight back from 2-0 down. Can they get back level first? That's the first charge. But getting on the score sheet was a big thing. It was a good finish from Rashford, who really and truly has had but one of his worst games that we've seen for the last 6 months, really.
No, absolutely. But even playing poorly, Sam, they've now given themselves a chance. Manchester United of getting something out of this game when probably you think so far they don't deserve anything.
And they come forward, Leeds United, with Ruter towards the edge of the area. Fernandes trying to win it, Fred trying to get there too. It's a challenge by Martinez. Ruter's trying to scramble the ball forward. He goes down under pressure from Fred. There was a foul by Fred on Ruter. And it is going to be a free kick to Leeds United right on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area.
What do you think of Fred's performance tonight?
He's given the ball away far too much, and he seems to be a little bit loose in terms of his positional sense to me.
I think this
Would that be fair?
Tonight's performance, Sam, I have to admit, I think it's shown the vulnerability of the Manchester United squad. We're talking about them as title contenders. They can't do it if they haven't got their best 11.
But he is brilliant when their backs are against the wall and he's fighting to try and keep someone out of the game. He's chasing them all over the park. He's harassing. He's pressing. He's brilliant at that. This is not his game, really, is it?
This is the Fred from last season. I have to admit, I think he's much improved this time around. Obviously, he's got better players playing alongside him in midfield, but he's been so off the mark tonight.
Harrison to take the free kick. It's 6 yards outside the penalty area on the left. He hits it right-footed towards the near post and hits the bottom of that post. And goalkeeper De Gea is going absolutely balmy. Aronson back into the penalty area, trying to get the ball past 2 or 3 defenders. He does brilliantly to set up Luke Ayling, who arrives on the edge of the box with the ball at his feet. Sancho comes across. Ayling is driven down the touchline, tries to get the cross in, takes a deflection. It's a corner.
Well, he's worked hard enough to win that corner, but Aronson again, after the free kick, David De Gea looked as if it was going to miss his near post. I think he was as surprised as everybody when it hit the bottom of it. Comes back out to Aronson, again dribbles past 3 or 4 players, no contact. I know he's in the 18-yard box, but you've got to try and give him some physicality.
Oh, how's it got through that wall?
Wow.
Somerville down the right onto Aronson, trying to get beyond Fernandes. Ruter holds it up, turns, twists past Martinez, can't get the cross in, takes it out of play, goes out for a goal kick to Manchester United away to our right, and the Manchester United fans urge their team forward. De Gea immediately pumps it upfield. It wasn't a great kick, and it's cut out by Leeds, who have it again on the halfway line. We've played just over 65 minutes. Manchester United 1, Leeds United 2 on Talksport. Looks like Fulham are going through to the round 5 of the FA Cup. That's over on Talksport 2. Shaw, what a poor delivery. Took the ball away off Ruter, ran up to the halfway line, then gave it straight to Koch.
Well, I mean, how many players have we said this about United players tonight? They're just not at the races. Luke Shaw, who's been excellent this season.
Aronson out to Nonto, who's been a joy to watch all night. His ball into the near post, headed away by Savitzer, who did well to cover. Cleared away by Manchester United. Step over by Fernandes. Late challenge by Ayling on Sancho. The referee says play on. And Leeds come forward. It's played in towards Tyler Adams. Sancho still hobbling. Ayling with a shot driven towards the far corner. It goes behind. Sancho now is going to lead the charge of bellowing at Simon Hooper, the referee. Eric Ten Hag is furious. He is angry. Did you think that was a foul, by the way?
Yeah, I did. Jadon Sancho went to ground there. I mean, I don't know. You see the ball, the movement of the ball, it's kind of slowed down, which tells me that Sancho got his foot in front of Luke Ayling. He was just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. He was going crazy.
Manchester United playing out from the back, with Varane out towards the wide right. Diego Dalot skips past one challenge of Nonto, gets to the edge of the area and then balloons the ball right over the top of the crossbar. That would have looked pretty good at Twickenham. Ilhan Melier just kicked a ball away. The referee says he will be adding on time, don't worry about it. It's currently Manchester United 1, Leeds 2. And for the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Manchester United to win at 6-1. Leeds United is 6-4, and the draw is 2-1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. Ilhan Melier has been spoken to by Simon Hooper. He wasn't given a yellow card.
Well, he's got to watch himself, because that's the last thing that they need to do. Find themselves, well, I know we obviously would have just got a yellow card, but don't want to find themselves going down to 10 men when Manchester United find themselves in the ascendancy, trying to get themselves back on level terms.
Well, the changes that the coaches have made, Arnes, Skubala and Gallardo, have just stemmed the tide of Manchester United attacks in the last few minutes. 69 on the clock. on a crisp night at Old Trafford. Absolutely jam-packed to the rafters. Manchester United fans coming here expectantly. Everyone coming here thinking that Manchester United were going to roll over Leeds, and Leeds were just going to succumb to a heavy defeat. But this is the Premier League, folks. Here is Fernandes down the left looking for Rashford. Good challenge by Verber again. He's been terrific. One back by Martinez down the left onto Sancho. Sancho moving towards the edge of the area, flicks it into Rashford inside the box, beats the defender, pulls it back through the 6-yard box, comes through towards Bruno Fernandes. Oh, he didn't get any purchase on it. It comes to Dallo, edge of the area, big deflection out towards the wide left. Sancho will allow that to go out for a corner. No, he'll stop it instead, and then it's a throw in down by the corner flag, which Sancho will take. What a chance for Fernandes.
Brilliant opportunity for Bruno Fernandes, the man in form at the moment as well, scoring goals. And that ball just skids across the 6-yard area.
Lovely little bit of skill by Rashford. He's gone down inside the penalty area. The ball's loose inside the box. He can't believe the referee hasn't pointed to the spot. Now the referee is now being told to halt proceedings. He went skating down the left side through the legs of a defender, ran the wrong side of him, and it looked as if he was nudged to the floor. Referee says throw in.
Well, Simon Hooper's got to wait and have a look at this, or he has to be told. It looks like he's going to play on. But why would Marcus Rashford go to ground? He's goal side of the player. He's got an opportunity to run in towards the 6-yard area. Very strange.
Here it comes Sancho into the box. Shaw's gone beyond him. Low ball through the box, comes back to Sancho, who shoots. It's in! They've come back from 2-0 down to get an equaliser, and it's Jadon Sancho, who hasn't played in the Premier League since October, but this is a welcome return. And in the absence of Eriksen and Casemiro, it's Jadon Sancho who's come off the bench to help rescue Manchester United. 2-0 down, it's now 2-2, and it is very much game on, Mickey Gray.
Well, taking nothing away from Jadon Sancho. He's looked really lively since he came on the field. The ball actually falls to his feet very kindly in that 18-yard area. He just has to get his shot away. But Meslier, do you have to question the goalkeeper when this ball comes through, Sam? Yes, he might see it late, but I think that's a save the goalkeeper's got to make. I really do. There's not enough pace on it to go past the goalkeeper. Yes, he does see it late, but he's got to save that. He has to save it.
Mickey, it comes through the tightest of gaps, doesn't it? It comes through two players. I don't know if he could see that before he went to his left. Could he?
Sam, you get a full hand on that as a goalkeeper in the Premier League. You've got to make that save. I have to be honest with you. I'm taking nothing away. Jadon Sancho's gone through a horrid time. He really has. He's gone away on his own. He's trained on his own. He's tried to get back his form. Well, hopefully this is going to kickstart his career at Manchester United.
Oh, it's a brilliant goal from Jadon Sancho. He won't care two hoots about whether or not the goalkeeper should have stopped it, and nor will Erik ten Hag, who's cheering on the touchline. Sunderland fans cheering once again. 3-2 now in the 93rd minute of the game. Jefferson Burnett with the goal. It's 3-2. Can they come back as well from a 2-goal deficit? Remember, Manchester United were 2-0 down here, and now it's 2-2. And listen to those Manchester United fans sing. It was all Leeds noise for the first 70 minutes of this game. They were marching on together. All of a sudden it's Jadon Sancho and Manchester United that are on the hunt for 3 points.
Well, it's the first time we've heard this United crowd tonight, Sam, because it's the first time they've had something to cheer about. I have to be completely honest with you, it's just been terrible until they got that first goal and give themselves a fighting chance of getting something out of this game. But you've got the chance to go level with Manchester City on points in the Premier League, and you perform like that for 60-65 minutes. It's not good enough.
This is Leeds. This is the problem with Leeds United. This is what's been happening to them over the course of the season, getting themselves into winning positions and then throwing away the advantage. Credit to Manchester United, yes, but they play such a chaotic open game that they're always liable to end up conceding, and concede they have once again. They've gone from 2-0 up at Old Trafford, looking for their first win here since 1981, to all of a sudden worrying about getting anything from the game.
Yeah, you feel for them, you feel for Leeds United. I think I've given absolutely everything in the game. Every individual, they've worked their socks off, got themselves into a really commanding position to be taken away from them.
Shaw picks it up and lays in Sancho once again, who's got his first Premier League goal since September the 1st. His first goal in all competitions since he scored against Sheriff at the end of that month. He's been out for such a long time. He's been absent for Manchester United, but they have nurtured him back to full health, and he has rewarded their patience with a goal here, which could be the start of a big comeback. And he's on it once again. Left side, ball into the box. It's a corner.
What a difference Jadon Sancho's made on this left-hand side, making the pitch big. When he gets the chance to put the ball in the area, he's not letting his centre forwards down. Got himself on the score sheet. There's just something different about the feel in this stadium right now.
Tyler Adams has got a groin problem. He's gone down on his haunches inside the area as before this corner is about to be taken in front of the Stretford end. He wants treatment, and the three wise men of Leeds United are in close conversation. Remember, Chris Arness not so long ago was sitting in the home dugout alongside Ralph Rangnick, trying to pass on information to Gallardo and Scabula down in front of us. The corner about to be taken down for Manchester United. Fernandes will deliver it in towards the near post, headed away by Ruter. Fred has got it, sends it back towards Dalot. Dalot, I mean, what on earth is he doing? It's an up and under into the area when it needed poise. Melié's caught that, and he's 6'6" tall. No one's going to be able to challenge him with his arms up in the air.
Mismatch. That's exactly what that was. Panic stations at the back from Diego Dalot. And he has really panicked at times in this game.
Free kick has been given for a foul by Pellistrio on the far side on Nonto. Real Madrid are through to the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. They've beaten Al Ahly by 4-1. Only 2 aerial duels for Weghorst, and one of those he lost in the game. You were right, Mickey, when you mentioned that today. Only 19 touches, well below par compared to his teammates. 3-2, full-time at the Stadium of Light. Fulham through for a cup tie against Leeds United. I'll tell you what, if nothing else, that'll be a cracking watch. What a game that'll be. That'll be 6-6. Here is McKennie running through the middle of the park. This has been an absolute belter. And it's 2-2, Manchester United against Leeds United. The War of the Roses. The swords and shields have been switched for shots. And Manchester United are in the ascendancy. Remember, you'll be able to have your say with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. The Sports Bar will be open for business on national radio straight after this game. 03717 722 344. Rashford trying to get away from Firpo, running down the right-hand side. Firpo's gone dragging him to the floor. It'll only be a yellow card, but it was absolutely bang out of order. It was about as cynical as it gets. Stuart Pearce hates that kind of foul, and he thinks there should be a third card invented in order to try and stamp it out, because that was just blatant cynicism from Junior Firpo.
Well, it's a good job. I think it's Robin Kopp who's the deepest man for Leeds United, and that's the only reason that Firpo is still on the football field right now, because Rashford's away from him. He does great with his first touch, but you're right, Sam, Firpo knows exactly what he's doing there. It's a shocking challenge.
Free kick to Manchester United, far side, 77 minutes gone. It's in Manchester United 2, Leeds United 2, live only on Talksport. It's Fernandes into the area, away by Verba, back in again by Fred, cleared further out by Tyler Adams, one by Fernandes, right side, he's got 2 to aim at in the centre. It's deep towards Varane, who heads the ball, tipped over the top of the diving Melié, and out for another corner. What a cross from Fernandes, a decent header from Varane, and a super stop from the French goalkeeper.
And they've all turned up now. Bruno Fernandes, great free kick into the area initially. When it comes back out to him, he's brave, he wins the ball. Again, just wraps his right foot around that. It's got height on it. Perfect for Varane. Does everything right with his header. Has to go down as a great save from Meslier.
Fernandes with a short corner into Sancho. It's returned to Fernandes in towards the near post. Ruter away. Shaw complaining that wasn't the right delivery. It goes back to Sancho, who drifts into the box. Pellistri trying to get on the end of it. I tell you what, he almost did, you know. He made a really good diagonal run from in to out, looking for the flight of the Sancho ball, and he almost connected with it. It goes through to the goalkeeper after going out, and it's a goal kick away to our left. And Leeds United now just trying to put a lid on this Manchester United resurgence, because they are coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, they are. And you look how deep they are, Sam, as well. When Manchester United start breaking, they weren't doing that in the first half. They were getting up tight to the pitch. They were making it really difficult for the United forward players to spin it behind them, because they're winning all the first balls. But now it's Manchester United A lot of possession, creating chances.
I'll tell you what, Leeds were lucky there because the ball was played down the left-hand side by Shaw and it was aimed towards Rashford. Koch came across and he just about blocked it, sent it out for a throw-in on the halfway line. Erik ten Hag was furious with Fred just a moment ago. He threw his chewing gum on the ground, then turned round to the strip, but then demanded a little bit more. Marcus Rashford got the party started for the United fans after Leeds have been brilliant up until the 70th minute. All of a sudden things have changed very quickly. Manchester United scored 2 goals. Rashford going level with Premier League goals with Eric Cantona tonight during a Manchester United Leeds game. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
This is Talksport.
Every accolade that's coming his way this season, Marcus Rashford, he deserves, but he needed a shake tonight. He needed a shake tonight.
Oh, Fred needs a shake. He's just given the ball away inside his own half. He's won it back, but still Leeds come forward. Sabitzer's just decided, look, I've got to take emergency action here. I'm going to have to crunch him. He does exactly that. He cuts Gnonto in half. It's a yellow card for Sabitzer.
Well, where does it start? Again, from that midfield area, Manchester United giving a ball away when there's no pressure on the player, Fred, at all. So Sabitzer has to do that. He's got to bring the player down, or it gives Leeds another opportunity of breaking towards this back line of Manchester United. But still now, Sam, in front of us, what a chance this is. Great set piece. They've all come up. This is a big chance for Leeds United if they get the quality from the set piece.
Aronson is going to stand over it. And Manchester United are going to make a couple of changes here. I think they're going to bring on Tyrone Malacia and Eric Lindelof, and I think Lindelof is going to play in midfield and he's going to take Fred off. Here is Aronson chipping the ball towards the far post, looking for Verba, who heads it back across the face of goal. Martinez stops it, and then Rashford smacks it high into the Old Trafford night. It drops under the floodlights for Tyler Adams, doesn't do very well at all there. Then Fred tries to win it, pokes it through to Dalot, and a chance maybe to counter-attack for Manchester United. Fernandes picks it up deep inside his own half, launches the ball immediately forward. Koch heads it clear ahead of Rashford. It bounces inside the Leeds half, and then they almost conspire to give it back. Adams manages to clear, but still Manchester United have it. They look a bit ragged now, don't they, Leeds? Into Shaw from Sancho, back to Sancho once again. He dances towards the edge of the area. He's still got it. Fernandes wants it back again. Still Fernandes shooting towards the near post, but it's always rising and flying over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. 10 minutes to go. Manchester United 2, Leeds United 2, and Tyrone Malacia is coming on.
Yeah, they're making more changes just to freshen things up, United, but I have to say, Sam, the game plan's just gone out of the window. There's no playing through midfield. Bruno Fernandes this occasion picked a ball up on the right hand side. He's just trying to play a long diagonal 70-yard ball to his forward players, and they're looking for knockdowns. Made that change. I think it's Sabitzer who's come off. He can be quite proud of his performance, albeit, look, it's difficult coming into a starting 11. I think he's not really let anybody down. I'm sure he'll be frustrated that his first game's not going to finish in a win, or looks that way. But Malacia playing as a right back now.
Yeah, he did that earlier in the season, didn't he, Tyrone Malacia? I think he played at right back against Fulham in November. And that is where he's gone over towards that far side.
You're right about Lindelof, albeit it's not for Fred, which is a huge surprise. He has picked up in that midfield area.
Yeah, he's gone on for Sabitzer in the centre of midfield. He's gone to play as a number 6, that holding midfield player for Manchester United, as they look to try and get something from this game. You're only allowed 2 people inside the technical area at any one time. The whole night, Leeds have had those 3 wise men in close proximity, having discussions throughout the course of the evening, trying to plot their course through this game.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's had a word with them either.
Well, is it because they're all named officially as the joint 3 coaches?
Possibly.
That's the way to get round it, folks. Here is Ayling poking the ball into Weston McKennie, back outside to Somerville, was a first half substitute. Brilliant game this, end-to-end stuff. Ayling down the right onto Weston McKennie, onto Somerville once again. Somerville onto McKennie once more, who overhits it, goes out of play. And it's away for a goal kick away to our right. If you're just joining us, what a terrific football match we've seen here on Talksport. Manchester United were behind by 2-0 almost immediately after the restart, but they've fought their way back to 2-2 thanks to goals from Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho. Marcus Rashford, who has now scored in each of the last 6 consecutive Premier League home games for Manchester United, and 12 goals in 14 appearances since returning from the World Cup. And Jadon Sancho getting the second goal, his first goal since September after his long spell on the sidelines. But that double Dutch substitution from Erik ten Hag certainly made the difference.
Absolutely, 100%. Needed change, needed to kick up the backside. They've had that in the second half. We touched on that record of Marcus Rashford there, Sam. Was it 6 and 6 now? I think Wayne Rooney got 8 in 8, which is a record for Manchester United.
Yeah.
That'd be something for Marcus to chase down, and the form that he's in at the moment, you wouldn't put it past him.
We've got some interesting home games to come. Leicester City's the next one here, and then it's Brentford at home in the Premier League, so quite possibly he might fancy his chances. You never know. Although the way Brentford are playing right now, you never know. They're into the last minute of extra time. Arsenal women 1, Manchester City women 0. Sunderland have been beaten by Fulham in the FA Cup replay up at the Stadium of Light. Dundee 2, Wraith 2. It's gone into extra time. Remember, Dundee were 2-0 up in that game, and it's 2-2 here. It's been a night of thrilling football on Talksport and Talksport 2, and it continues on Friday night with West Brom in action. Here on the left-hand side is Sancho trying to get to the touchline. We've got more London derby action on Saturday and game day at 12:30 with West Ham Chelsea, and then the Merseyside derby on Monday night is only here. Here's Sancho on the left-hand side into Lindelof, back to Sancho again, now on to Martinez, and then on to Varane, who's encouraged to shoot. It goes wide towards the right. 85 minutes on the clock, 2-2 the score. Is there a late winner incoming here? The ball into the box, headed away by Ayling. It goes out towards this near side, the right. Erik ten Hag talked about the need to dig in the last 20 minutes against Crystal Palace. They need the crowd here as the ball goes in towards Fernandes, and he heads the ball wide. Shaw's delivery curled into the box, aimed towards Fernandes, and it goes behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic ball in from Luke Shaw on this left-hand side. He's got pace on it. You see Bruno getting in between the centre-halves there. Not known for his heading ability. But Wilbert just goes over the top of his head there. It's to go down as a really good chance. So we're going to get chances before this game's up. I wonder if we get that old chant that we used to get at Old Trafford of attack, attack, attack.
Well, Manchester United, if they win, will go level on points with Manchester City at the top of the table. And Leeds are trying to put some distance between them and the bottom 3. And at the one stage, they were going 3 points away from the bottom 3. It doesn't appear to be the case now. 2-2 the score. And chasing on the far side, Pellistri, and trying to hunt down that Leeds United backline, and Fernandes almost did that. Was that a foul by Firpo, far side? And the referee has given the free kick. Firpo's got to be careful,
he's off,
because if he gets a yellow card here, then he's going to be in major trouble. And Lisandro Martinez is very quick to go and point that out. I think you thought he was reaching for his pocket. He wasn't. He was reaching for that shaving foam to identify where the free kick should be taken from.
Yeah, it looked like he was actually going into his pocket for that second yellow card, Sam, didn't it? And that would have been the finish of Firpo. I mean, Fernandes has got there. He has won the ball. You can see there's a bit of honesty from Firpo to try and win it himself, but got to be careful now, Firpo. He is so close.
3 minutes to go before the end of the game. Manchester United 2, Leeds United 2. Fernandes into the centre. Rashford is there trying to tuck it home. It's narrowly wide. I think maybe Melié's dropped on the ball and stopped it from going behind. He has. He's got it in his hands. But he's made a good save. It was going in at that near post, and Rashford was attacking it. He got something on it, and it was stopped by the French goalkeeper. Charlotte Richardson's got full time from the Conti Cup.
What a battle. It finishes Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. Lots has been written, lots has been said about Arsenal's recent dry spell in front of goal and whether Stina Blackstenius could step up with influential attacking players out injured for the Gunners. Dropped from the starting 11 for this semi-final, Blackstenius came off of the bench, used her instincts as a centre-forward to be in the right place at the right time to poke in Lena Hurtig's cross to knock the holders out of the competition and secure Arsenal's place in the Continental Cup final at Selhurst Park next month. It finishes Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0.
And the second semi-final tomorrow, West Ham take on Chelsea. Here we've got 2.5 minutes to go. Manchester United 2, Leeds United 2 on Talksport. And Fred has given the ball away as he's tried to scuttle back in his own half. Well, he's managed to win it back somehow, I don't know, but he's given it away twice in the first place. Here is Rashford taking it wide towards the left-hand side. The ball bounces up loose. Shaw is there, on towards Rashford, chested down by Ayling after Fred played it forward loosely. It's picked up by Martinez to clear it away, and another Leeds attack breaks down. Fernandez goes to the left. Pelistri made a good run on the right. Sancho, though, is scampering down that left-hand side now with Rashford in the centre. He goes past Ayling, wanders into the penalty area, pulls it back towards Fred. Right-footed, not a great shot. And it's cleared away by Leeds. Ruter bringing it out from defence. It takes a deflection off Shaw, who shuts him down. It goes out for a throw midway inside Leeds United's half. Leeds got 90 seconds to hold on to get a point here. They're bringing on Matteo Joseph and Sam Greenwood as they attempt to try and slow the game down a little bit more. Their final 2 substitutions. They would have made 6 by the time we are finished here tonight because of the concussion for Pascal Strike earlier on.
They need to do something, Sam, in these final couple of minutes, Leeds United, because they are hanging on. Another half chance goes to Manchester United. Good play from Jadon Sancho, skipping by Luke Ayling, picking out Fred. I know we've been critical of him tonight, but I have to be again, because I think he has to do better with that strike. Nobody around him. It's a free hit at goal with his left foot, on his favoured foot, and he just gets it completely wrong. I hate to count how many times he's given the ball away tonight. You cannot do that. If you're chasing down titles in cup competitions, and you think he's going to be involved in the next few weeks as well with the injuries and suspensions that they've got, might be a part of that Carabao Cup final and the FA Cup moving forward as well, and they've got massive games against Barcelona coming up. Can you rely on somebody playing like that and giving the ball away so much in a Manchester United shirt? I don't think you can.
That Carabao Cup final is live on Talksport. So it is the game at the Camp Nou when Barcelona take on Manchester United next week, Thursday night for that. Well, in fact, I say night, it's Thursday afternoon, really. It's a 5:45 kickoff. Join us for that on Talksport. 5 minutes of added time for Manchester United to try and find a winner. The ball has been picked up by Martinez. Here is Rashford with his back to goal. Plays it in towards Fred. Fred onto Fernandez. Out wide to Pelistri. Pelistri trying to move the ball back towards the edge of the area. Fred takes it out wide towards the right-hand side. Malacia tries to cross the ball, left-footed. It's blocked. And then back it comes through the middle to Martinez, who overran it slightly but still managed to swing a pass out to Sancho. Sancho dances to the edge of the area. Rashford turns the defender. He plays it through the legs of one other and then gets it loose. It comes to Fred. Left-footed shot saved down low to his right by Meslier. The shot from Fred was from the edge of the D. It was curling towards the far corner, but it didn't have the power to beat the French goalkeeper.
Well, wouldn't that have been a story? After criticising Fred so much, and rightly so, I think, at times. He gets a great opportunity at the end of the game. He tries to curl it into the bottom corner. He's not really got enough pace on it to threaten Meslier. I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing after he makes the save. Laying on the ground for 6 or 7 seconds, just trying to tick away a little bit of time.
Would you like me to tell you what he's doing? He's wasting time, Ricky. They've made 6 substitutions at Leeds United, with the latest being Greenwood and Joseph for McKennie and Nonto. And they've done that as they try to stay in this game and get a point. And I think if before the game you'd offered them a point, they would have snatched your hand off. But when they went 2-0 up, it will still feel a little bit of a disappointment they've come away with only 1. Here is Pelistri, far side, the left. Adams tries to win it, but it's going to be Varane who picks the ball up on halfway. 91 minutes, 49 seconds on the clock. 5 have been added at the end of the 90. Martinez into Fernandez on the half turn. He's got Rashford pinning away to his left. He's left it. Sancho's picked it up. Sancho into the area. Right footed. Slides it through to Fernandez. Right footed shot. Comes back to Fred. Poor effort. Flicks into the air. And still chasing it was Sancho. Sancho plays it against the defender. Does he know it goes out for a goal kick? Aren't you supposed to be impartial? Did I just hear you saying go on then?
No, it was Adrian. I moved the mic away from my mouth and Adrian shouted go on. So it's Adrian's fault.
73,456.
I just love seeing goals, Sam. Don't care who scores them, I want to see some goals. Being that type of game.
It's been a brilliant match, hasn't it? You know. And Manchester United's winning run had to come to an end at some point, but coming to an end in this fashion I think will be slightly disappointing, especially bearing in mind that everyone will point to the absences of Eriksen and Casemiro, you know, and Rashford playing out, on the right-hand side in that first half. It just didn't work for Manchester United. And there'll still be the same old problems for Leeds. Yes, they've picked up now, what is it? There's the 4th draw in quick succession. I mean, not all in a row, but they've picked up 4 draws recently, put points on the board. But this again is a situation where they've got themselves into a cracking position and thrown away points. I think they've dropped now 15 points from winning positions. It's a lot of points to chuck away.
It's a heck of a lot of points. I'm not too sure, Sam. I haven't got Man United's league fixtures in front of me. Will that be 1 win in 4 in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think it'll be. They've lost 3. They've failed to win 3 of the last 4 now as a result of this.
Yeah. Now it's not title contention form, that is it. The Arsenal performance could have got something out of that. They didn't in the end. Crystal Palace, a late goal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stumble, isn't it? That 1 win coming on Saturday, and that was a little bit of a bind towards the end as well after getting themselves in front. They're fighting to try and get something here, but it seems to be eluding them. Shaw's taken a throw on this left-hand side. The referee's now being pernickety about where he wants the throw-in to be taken from. They wanted to release Jadon Sancho on this near side. They weren't allowed to do it. And then he's taken the throw-in about 3 steps from where he took it in the first place. Martinez forward, up towards Fernandes, headed away by Koch. Fred forward once again. Fernandes helps it into the air. It drops for Sancho. It's going to be a precious point for Leeds United. Down the left it goes into Fernandes, onto Sancho, back to Fernandes, into the near post. Rashford, he hesitated, and it came across his body. He didn't anticipate that it was coming his way. Back to Tyrell Malacia, a left-footed ball into the box, attacked by Lindelof. It comes back out to Fernandes. Goalkeeper comes out, and he almost lost it. He threw his hands up in the air, he poured it down and dropped it inside the box and gathered it at the second attempt. It was again frenetic and chaotic inside that Leeds penalty area, but I think Leeds have just about seen it out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to hang on. They're going to get a point at Old Trafford, Leeds United. I think that is it, Sam.
There's the full-time whistle. Boing, boing. Another bit of new manager bounce. Certainly when you wake up tomorrow morning and the scoreline is all that you see, people will think that Leeds United have managed to get an heroic point, and it may well be that it is viewed that way, but they were 2-0 up in this game just after half-time. But a second-half Manchester United comeback, inspired by Sancho and Rashford, threatened to see Manchester United go on the hunt for a 14th consecutive home win. It wasn't to be in the end, but it was a terrific football match. You can see why Leeds have the joint fewest away points in the league, because they give away far too many winning positions. But Manchester United's winning run has come to an end, but I think Erik ten Hag will be a little bit concerned about the fact that they have now failed to win 3 of their last 4 Premier League games. Manchester United 2, Leeds United 2.
United stay in 3rd. They are 7 points behind Arsenal now, having played 2 games more. 2 points behind City, having played a game more than their rivals locally. Leeds United up to 16th in the table, above West Ham United on goals scored. They are 16th, 1 point above the relegation places. And I've got to say, as the Leeds fans sing about how proud they are of Leeds United, their team, they were magnificent tonight, those fans. And for the first half, for 50-odd minutes, Leeds United were magnificent, as well as the players go over to applaud the fans for supporting them. That's what you can hear in the background. It's the Leeds United fans. Utterly brilliant tonight in that corner away to our right, as the coaching staff, all 3 of them, go over. The players go over and applaud them as well, and United trudge off. When you come from 2 down for a draw.